Alright, go.
Well, we are live, so censorship or
Welcome to
not.
hell.
Censor the censor bars.
We're back.
They're too lewd.
We've got a great tune playing in the background. I don't know if any of you can hear it, but
I haven't figured
It's
it
great.
out why it doesn't play it on mine, but
It reminds me of El Dorado.
sure.
All town music to me is Witcher town music. None other exists.
Yeah,
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually, I don't know. But either way, you're back in town. Who wants to tell us what happened last week?
I can.
Let's see.
We fought some snakes that almost killed us, which was scary. Then we went back. We found the road, traveled up north. We went to Riverhead. In Riverhead, they're building walls. There are people getting ready to go to war. They're training guards or whatever. We don't really know what's happening. But yeah, we made it to town. We went to an inn. We tried to find Barnabas, but he is not in town. We have to talk to someone called Baudir Plate Hand in the morning. So we went to the inn. Alex got super drunk because he used the spider ring and got really sad about it. And then he apparently gave away his necklace or his locket that his mum had to a lady, and in the morning he freaked out, but he got the locket back, and then yeah, we found out he was sad because he used the ring.
Will heard chains. Spooky ghost chains.
Yeah, Will heard weird chains that we have no idea what it means.
It's haunted.
I think that's about it. And then we sold a lot of stuff. So everyone has 1,200 gold in their player character sheet. If you haven't added it yet, you can. And Jim said we could go to the bank and exchange it for whatever coins we want. So, for example, I have 100 platinum and 200 gold. And now we're going to buy some stuff and hopefully talk to this Baudir guy and see what's happening with Barnabas. But more importantly, buy stuff.
Buy stuff, yeah!
We do still, because we didn't sell it last time, we still do have all of the stuff that we buried. Like the half plate, the great sword, the long sword, the 2 morning stars, and the 2 metal idols, and the chainmail. But I didn't know if Wesley wanted to use some of that for crafting or not, so we didn't sell it. But if we want to, we'll probably get another few hundred gold from that as well if we want to sell it.
Things Jim needs to do regularly. Tell us not to make everything a pet. Remind us that not everything is important.
Hey, everything's
Hey,
a pet.
we left lots of copper.
Right.
Everything's a pet.
It's not.
You can make anything a pet if you try hard enough.
Why is
Except
the new
demons.
pet?
They're horrible.
Gotta catch them all.
But yeah, that's where we're at. And I think it's like just in the middle morning because we spent the morning selling stuff. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Recap
Okay.
finished.
Wonderful. So you are mid-morning in town. Tell me what it is you'd like to do first. You've got the town bustling all around you. The market's going already. It's some sort of gathering at the church is happening, or the temple rather, that I mentioned before. You can see that there's people in and out of that. The town hall is bustling with people running in and out, holding papers, and
Should
you see the
we
guards marching around town. All that good stuff's going on.
should we go talk to this Baudir and see when Barnabas is back, or should we go shopping?
Well, you said it's about midday there, Jim?
Mid-morning.
Mid-morning? Well, yeah. He might be up, and then we can have the rest of the day to go shopping.
Does everyone want to come meet this plate hand fellow?
Yeah, I'd like
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea to
yeah.
mostly stick together.
Yeah, I think we should stick together and then we could maybe split up when we're actually shopping for weird individual things.
Sounds good.
Like, Wesley, Lyra might go and purchase some, what was it, Gilbert? Carrots and something else?
Cucumbers and carrots.
No,
She
I
could-
don't see
she
why
could-
we'd need those.
She could show Wesley how they're used. Wesley,
How does Wesley
go
react
there.
to that?
I do need to go to the store, but I don't think I will ever eat vegetables again.
Let's go talk to Plate Hand, okay?
Okay.
We grab our
Okay.
stuff and go to Town Hall, I think he said he was.
Okay. So you go head over
and
to town hall.
before we go there, I put on my fine clothes and make sure my ring is visible, so I look like the part of the guy in charge.
Okay. So you go over to town hall. You're all dressed in fine clothes, I assume, the finest of clothes
Mm-hmm.
that you've got.
The stuff that Alex bought us.
Okay. It's a little bit worn today, but you're doing okay in your stuffy clothes. You come up to the town hall, and you see that there are two doors, double doors, that are held open at the moment, with guards on both sides. The doors are made of like some sort of heavy stone, and it seems like they're like very smooth to open and close. When you walk in, the first thing you see is there's a wall basically directly in front of you. And on the left side, you can see a room that is like a great hall. And there's three big tables with, at the top, there's another smaller table seemingly meant for the higher nobles. It looks like they hold feasts here. On the right side, there's some smaller, like, closed doors with little plaques on them. And there's a big table with a couple of people sitting at it, and there's lines of people. It's only a few at the moment, but there are some people who are being heard by town officials at the table. And so, as you walk in, you hear like the hustle and bustle of all these people inside talking and trying to be heard over one another, having conversations.
I go
Do you want to
to...
walk inside?
Yeah, well, I go to one of the guards and ask, excuse me, is Bodir Plate Hand in today? We need to speak with him about Lord Barnabas and when he'll be returning to town.
He looks you up and down and says, well, Constable Bodia will be only available if your query is deemed valuable to his time. And he like looks at you like meaningfully. He like gives you this look of like, you're not shit unless somebody says you shit.
Well,
and-
Lord
Oh.
Gilbert Deephollow here of Hubhall, he had a meeting with Barnabas, but he's not in town, so we need to know when he will be here. Is there any chance you can get this message to Bodir for me?
He looks at you and he says, like, he gives you this look of like, are you fucking kidding me? And he says, do I look like a secretary to you?
Kind of, yeah. You're standing at the door.
I mean, you're not acting like one, but a little bit.
Who can I talk to then?
He like waves inside.
What about maybe
Towards
you're
the
not the head
table.
secretary? What about the head secretary?
You're asking who the head secretary would be?
Well, he said he's a secretary. At least that's what Gilbert heard.
He ignores you and points inside, says, talk to the people at the table.
Thank you. Go to talk to the people at the table.
Okay.
Yep.
So now
Gilbert gives
there,
him a little wave and walks on.
there are three people at the table. It seems to be two dwarves and a human. And
Not the best of tables.
not the best of tables. It is a thick and sturdy wooden table, relatively simple, not crazy carvings or anything like that. And you see three lines to talk to the three different people. It seems like they're about even with two or three people in each line. Would you like to wait in a line, or would you like to do something else?
How long do we think the line will be?
You see, so as you're examining these lines, you actually overhear the conversation of one of the people talking to one of the people at the table. And it's a woman who seems quite hysterical. She says, I know you took it. I know you took it. I can't find it anywhere. He came home and I can't find it anywhere. And she's like hysterical, yelling at this guy. And he's like at the table, just looking at her, like trying to just keep his shit together. He's like, ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's crying and crying. And he, after like a bit of time, he kind of just like lets her talk for a minute. And then after he can't take it anymore, he's like, ma'am, if you don't settle down, I'm going to have to kick you out. I'm going to have to get the guards. She like takes a deep breath and she goes, I know you took it. I know you took it. Somebody took it. And she like storms out. I'll be back. And she walks by you. And you catch this person like who's at the table. You catch his eye as she like walks by you, and like she like bumps one of your shoulders as she walks out. And he just like looks
Wesley
at you.
will just fall down.
Yeah, you'll just fall down.
Yeah.
Well, that depends. How pretty is she?
She's a little older, not particularly pretty, I would say.
God, I wish I was playing YOLO. She's fucking
Then
insane, dude.
Then it was the stench that knocked him over.
Oh god,
The old lady stench.
Can I attempt to catch Wesley?
sure.
Be right back.
You don't deserve to fall over to old women. Don't go perving on the floor, Wesley.
Oh, you nasty motherfucker.
What?
Okay, so this whole thing happens in front of you, and you see like it kind of stops the entire room as she's like screaming, and you catch Wesley, and it seems like somebody else is like trying to walk up to the table, but right now the guy doesn't have anybody to talk to.
I push Gilbert towards the guy.
Okay, so like you kind of cut in line, and the guy behind you is like, he just looks at you all and looks at how like intimidating you are, Thrust, and he just like keeps his mouth shut, doesn't say anything.
Good.
So you walk up to the guy at the table, and he says, "What can I do for you?" And he's like holding his head in his hands a little bit, and he's like, you know, wiping his face off and like trying to just collect himself, and he looks up at you.
I as being pushed forward, I'm take this as my cue, so I kind of like run up there and going, I am Gilbert DePaulo, and I have a meeting with okay, pardon me,
Barnabas.
Barnabas. Okay, I have a meeting with Barnabas, but I can't find him. He was supposed to be here, but he's not here now. I need to know where he's going to be, or if he's going to come back.
He looks at you and goes, "Oh, you've got a meeting with Barnabas,
Yes.
and my wife's the Queen of Care Degar."
Can I meet her?
I lean over, like, onto the table, and I'm like, excuse me, I think you should be paying our lord here a little bit more respect. We did have a meeting with Barnabas, and we are looking for Baudir. Just trying to intimidate him.
Okay, roll intimidation.
I mean, you're also insulting Lord Barnabas because you're kind of implying that he wouldn't have any business with anyone in kind of his own town. I mean, that seems kind of silly.
He looks at Thrust, looks at you, like visibly holds his tongue. Turns back to Thrust and says, like through gritted teeth, like, "My apologies."
That's better.
You are forgiven. And I just kind of like stub my nose out and just so kind of like a bad backup son. Now, please tell us, is he in the area or where is he now?
He stands up and says, "If you'll come with me, I will escort you to a sort of waiting room we have upstairs, and I will go and get Baudir myself."
Ah, thank you, good lad. Thank you.
And so he like stands up, and you see the other two people like look up at him, and he gives them like a nod, like, you know, handle my shit for me while I'm gone. And they just nod back at him, and he goes sort of up these stairs that are in the center of the building, and they curve up and to the right. So he walks up these stairs, and they're solid stairs made of some sort of stone, as is most of this building, by the way. You
Um,
walk up the
Wesley,
stairs.
well, before we get to this place, we'll ask Thrust. Um,
Do you think there's a reason Mr. Barnabas only hires people with sticks up their arse?
It does seem like they're all assholes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it helps when they have to sweep the floor. They can take it out, sweep real fast, and stick it back up.
Okay, so you go up the stairs to the right, and as soon as you're up the stairs, it's like not completely silent, but it's definitely more quiet than it should be. And you go upstairs, and it's like you go around the staircase, and at the top of the staircase, you see like that there's some offices in front of you, and to the right of you. And as you continue to turn around and loop to like just above the bottom of the staircase, does that make sense? It's like a spiral almost. There's a waiting room. So you see like some offices. There's a waiting room it has like a hearth and a nice set of chairs. It looks like there's like a rug made from like a bear or something, and some chairs around the room. It looks like there's about 4 chairs. He said he like waves you over, and there's nobody else in the room, but the fire is going. And he says, "If you'll wait here, I will fetch Bodier for you."
Thank you, good sir.
You see him walk off. Goes into like one of the offices, one of the bigger offices in the upstairs. And like you hear the door click behind him as it closes, and you hear a muffled conversation, and then a bit of like raised voice, but not like screaming, just raised voice. And then you hear the door click open. He goes straight downstairs, doesn't say anything to you, and a dwarf comes out with a look of mild annoyance on his face. He's short, as dwarfs tend to be. He has brown hair, brown beard. He's quite strong, very serious. He's wearing armor. It seems like he takes himself very seriously just by the way he's like walking. He walks over to you and says, "Hello, my name is Bodia Platehand, and I am the head constable here in the city. I'm told that you need something from me. What can I do for you?" He looks around, looks at all of you, not sure which one of you to look at.
Let me introduce my master, Gilbert Deephollow of Hubhole, Lord
And-
Halfling. And I bow.
And I walk up to him and I give him a small nod, saying, "Good day, sir. We are looking for Barnabas. He had us complete a task for him, and it's finished, but he's not here like he said he would be. So we need to find him so we can tell him that the job's been completed."
He looks at you and like he looks like he's thinking for a second, and he goes, "The goblins?" Like a question.
Yes, they were part of the problem. We finished. We completed the rest of it.
Why don't you come into my office, Gilbert, and we can discuss what has happened?
Very well then. Good idea. Come on, Thrust. And I just start to walking after him once he goes into the next room.
I go to walk in as well, unless Bodier looks at me weirdly or is like, "What are you doing?"
He gives you like a little bit of an eye, like, "I didn't invite you in," but like he doesn't stop you. And so he walks over to his office and like opens the door and like waits for you guys to go inside.
I'll go inside and I will have a seat.
Okay.
I
you go
stand
inside.
behind Gilbert.
Yeah, he definitely expected you to stand. And he seems like happy with the arrangement, happy enough anyways. He sits down at his desk, shifts some papers around. You can see that there's like very thick paper everywhere in stacks. Usually it seems to be in like two sort of boxes, wooden boxes, like in and out. He seems quite organized. And he like takes the things that were in the middle of his desk and like puts them into the in box as if to say like I am not done with this yet, and looks at you and like he doesn't have a helmet on or anything. He is in armor, but he's in like sort of a chain splint mail armor, something like that. And he says, "Okay, Lord Gilbert DePaulo, what can I do for you with regards to the goblins? You've completed the task."
Yes. We tracked them to an old fort in the woods. We basically, to make the long story short, we took care of them in what was inside of the castle, except for the very, very bottom tier. That was blocked off by an iron door, and we all thought it to be wise if we just left the door shut.
He like blinks a couple times, and he's like, "But the goblins are dead."
Yes, both times.
He like stutters. He's like, both times.
Okay, well this is okay. I was trying to make the story short, but okay. Here's the long story. We went there. There's live goblins. We killed them. We did as much damage as we could. Then we retreated to regroup. The next day we came. The goblins we killed were up again. Only they weren't alive. They were dead. So we had to kill them all over again. By the time we got into the inside of the fort's palisades, and then inside the actual castle, not castle, their keep, we were able to kill those goblins one time, and they never raised back up. So we assumed whoever raised the goblins back from the dead, we took care of them in the initial battle.
But they're all dead.
Yes. They're most definitely. I looked at Thrust and just like, making sure that, like, yes, they're all dead.
He like halfway through what you were saying, he like took out a paper and started taking notes. And he's looking at you like, okay.
Yeah, but that force is really strange because we found an old guy who kept he changed his shape from an old lady to an old man. Then he disappeared. Then we found some griffins in there, and then again some undead griffins. So whatever's in there, I think we took care of.
And how is it that you know that the undead goblins, whatever they are, aren't going to come back?
Because when we defeated them the second time, their entire body erupted in fire and burned to ash.
That usually does it. Okay.
And we also did some experiments. With ones we killed, we put that didn't turn to ash. We put them in a room and waited for a day, and nothing happened. So we're pretty sure that whatever was controlling the making them undead, we took care of.
Okay. Barnabas will surely want to hear of this. Do you have any proof? I mean, no offense, but your story is a bit hard to believe at first. Is there any way you could supplement what you're saying with some sort of evidence?
As I'm telling the story, I'm getting more and more sadder. And as he goes, yeah, I have proof. I had to bury my mount. He's dead now because of all this. If you want, we can go and dig him up. Well, you will, because that's just kind of weird.
I have this shield which I took from their leader, and I take the shield and put it on.
His eyes perk up. He visibly perks up when he looks.
I also that you're right, Thrust. And I take out my sword and I just place it on his desk. I'm like, this was also his sword, although I use it now.
He looks
not as pretty as my last one. My last one glowed in the dark.
So when you draw the sword, he wasn't exactly ready for that, and he like jumps for a second. He puts his hand to his blade, and then he realizes like you're just trying to show it to him, and takes it from you gingerly. He like looks at it and says, yes, I suppose this is certainly goblin used." And he like looks at it. It seems like maybe they stole it, but it has like ornaments on it and carvings, etchings that are in goblin language. And he sort of turns it over and says, "Yes, okay."
We
And he,
also
like,
have these, and I put the 2 iron, the cheap metal idols from Maglubiet on the table as well.
okay,
Or like if I don't have them, I'll like go outside and grab them from whoever does and put them on the table.
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, we
See,
didn't bring
he-
any corpses because we had to travel through the forest for a long time.
And I'm pretty sure your city didn't want us bringing corpses into it.
That's usually true. We don't like extra corpses.
They
We've got
also
enough of our own
exploded
already.
into dust, so it was kind of
Right.
hard to do that.
Right. All right then. Okay. Well, Barnabas is due back any time now. I had a rider come just about I'm trying to think of like how he would say time. Just earlier this morning, and he should be here by midday, maybe afternoon, if he decides to stop to eat. When he's back, I would ask that you return. I will summon for you, and you can meet with him. Would that be all right?
Yes, I suppose it's what we'll have to do. Since he's coming back pretty soon.
Okay. And he says, regarding your reward for said task, is there anything that was discussed previously?
Okay, out of character. It's been a long time since we've had this conversation.
I don't think we really
There wasn't.
discussed one.
Yeah, he was going to tell you who the general's name.
Yeah, I remember that part, but I don't remember if we discussed an actual coinage. Yeah, he didn't really specify.
As far as monetary rewards go, that's probably something we'll have to consider talking about with him
Yeah.
when we
Okay.
actually.
Yeah, we didn't agree on anything.
All right. Oh well. Okay. Well.
Okay.
Okay.
So you say that.
Back in character. Yeah, we tell him that we didn't really agree on anything. He was going to discuss that with us
It
once
was-
we completed the task.
Yep.
Okay. So Bodier looks at you and says, all right, then I suppose that no one can take care of that until he comes back. Awful weird that he wants to handle this all himself. Usually, no offense to you, my lord, but usually he leaves these kinds of things to me or to someone else.
No offense taken, but I just assumed it was the custom in your land for him to take care of it. I don't travel very much beyond Hubhole.
He looks at you and says, I see. Well, you are right. You are more than just a mercenary. You are a lord, and that kind of respect is due to you. And he like stands up and says, is there anything else I can do for you? Like in a effort to like sort of get you the fuck out of his office in a polite way.
Well, I was hoping to get some information from your lord, but I was wondering, because as I said, I've lost my my mount, and I am in need for a new one. I was wondering who would sell the best mounts here in town, or the more interesting ones.
He looks at you. More interesting mounts. Do you
Combat
mean
mount.
Combat mounts, yes, because I had a mastiff which I trained for combat, and I know other races have their own kinds of mounts. I've heard some dwarves, such as yourself, have big giant boars for mounts that they take into battle. Although as I scratch my chin, that may just be a story I heard when I was a kid.
Well, I can tell you that we do have boars. In one part of the world, there are some dwarves who do ride boars. I have been there once, but those boars are bigger than any you've ever seen or I've
Oh.
ever seen. He like thinks for a moment and he says, "Well, I'm not sure about particularly interesting steeds or whatever you'd have, but there are certainly traders in town who may be able to sell you a horse, which are more common here. I've also heard of wolves being trained, though I don't know of any near here."
Ah.
And he says, he thinks a little longer. He says, "I've even heard," and this one, he like lowers his voice a little bit. He's like, "I've even heard in some parts of the world, near the mountains, they ride lizards, if you can believe it."
Oh, lizards? Wow. That would be interesting.
And he says, "But I digress. The best you'll probably be able to get in town is at the stable over by, let me look at my notes. There's a tavern.
Like the
There's
one
two of
literally
them.
next to our tavern.
Yes, that one.
Oh, okay.
What's
Uh,
our tavern called again? It's the something tent.
The Tranquil Tent.
Tranquil.
I just see I just know it's not the shittier tavern.
Right. You have tavern, not shittier tavern. The Tranquil Tent.
Tranquil tent.
He says next to the Tranquil Tent, there is a stable, and I know that they specialize in war horses and other sorts of supplying of the local guards, and in some cases they also supply for Barnabas's personal guard, and even they have some sort of connection to supply for the army, the war bands, if you will.
Oh, quite interesting. Okay, yeah. All right, excellent. I will check out and see what they have to offer, if they have anything extra. Thank you very much, good sir. And actually, I know it's kind of hard for me, but I jump up on my chair and I stick my hand out to shake hands with them.
Yep, he does that, stands up, shakes your hand, and he's got like a good tight grip, very strong, muscular dude, and you are ushered out of his office. He closes the door behind him or behind you after giving all the polite courtesies, and then seems to go back down to his desk and sit down.
All right, yeah. I'll walk out there to the group and relate to them what he told me and Thrust.
So we have some time if you guys want to go shopping. But
You want to go look at some magic shit, Thrust?
Sure. We should probably find a place that we can get our stuff identified, so that we know what we have.
Oh, yeah. While you guys
Shop
are
for stuff
while
magic.
you guys are doing that, I take out the griffin from my pouch and I hand it to the rest. Can you find out what this thing is? If it's just pretty, let's sell it. But if it can actually be used for anything, it'd be nice to know.
Okay, I can definitely do that.
And I look over to Lear, going, Lear, you want to come help me find a new mount? You can tell me if the mounts are in good shape or not. I know
sure,
I can
that
tell
sounds fun.
I know I can tell some things, but I can't tell everything.
Is there anything you have, Lyra, that you want identified?
No, I don't have anything that needs to be identified.
Okay.
Mr. Thrust, do you remember those weird cat things that were there but not really there?
The
That
cat.
we killed.
Have you been drinking
Oh,
again, Wesley?
yes. I remember those things. You skinned them for making a cloak.
Well, it'd be nice if we found out if we could do something with them or sell them, or they're starting to smell a little sour.
Okay.
Wouldn't a magic shop be the best place to find out most of this stuff?
Yeah.
And
Is there
most
any
magic
part of the
shops-
guild?
What guild?
Isn't Hestia part of a guild that has like magic shops and potion shops and stuff?
Alex don't know shit about Hestia,
Okay.
other than he was her replacement.
Well, yeah.
Wouldn't Wesley know that? He was a friend.
Wesley or
The
Lyra.
main Alchemist Guild.
Can we?
He'd know
I believe.
that. I mean, Wesley would know the name of the guild, but none of us know this town.
Where are you going, Wesley? Are you coming with us, or do you want to do your own thing? I know you like to
I'll go with you.
go shopping.
Are we outside while we're having this conversation?
You're still in the
I-
waiting room unless you've left.
Oh, yeah, let's...
I throw a sack behind a bush.
Okay.
A what?
Is it a sack with a dead rat inside it?
Yes.
Looking is.
I forgot you still have that. We were
I
doing
will
that
take
test.
it off my character sheet.
Could have
I
sold it,
forgot we had
dude. Could have sold it. Can we like investigate to see if there's any magic shops in town, or potion shops, or scroll shops, or somewhere that we can get our stuff identified?
Yeah. Sure. So you walk outside of town hall, and you would just like to look around and see what you find.
Yeah. Like, or
Okay.
yeah.
Roll me investigation. Whoever has the best one with advantage.
I have plus.
Probably Wesley.
Yeah, I've only got a +2.
I got a 1. Yeah.
None of you have good conditions.
Big old
Okay.
10.
So you seem to get lost, even though the town isn't quite that big, and you're not sure which way is which. You don't seem to get very far from the market, but you do find a couple shops.
Can anybody identify this item? And I like hold the griffin out.
Like in the market, like in the middle of the market.
Yeah,
Small-
just yelling it out.
Small kid comes out and going, "That's a griffin!" Puts out his hand.
I have a
One
magic.
platinum, please.
I have a magic item I want identified. I'm like waving it around.
Jim, does it look like there are any old people around?
Sure, absolutely.
Can I go up to someone who looks older, like they probably would have lived in this area a little longer, and just put a gold coin in their hand? Do you know of any shop that would handle magical business?
Oh my god, just a gold coin?
That's a
Hey,
lot of money. That's a
We're
lot of money.
only at the beginning of the session, okay? I gotta work it up.
Okay.
I have nowhere to go if I start with platinum right away.
Okay.
So he asked you what kind of magic you're looking for.
Well, it would help us if we could get a few items identified, but we're also interested in possibly purchasing a few for the road. Not anything specific in mind. Do they have any shops that would handle those things in town?
He says. There's 2 weaponsmiths, 2 armorsmiths, 2 scribes, an alchemist, a wandwright, and he thinks for a little longer. He's like, "That's about it. That's about all I can think of." And he like tells you their names.
Do the
And-
scribes have any books? And do the armor smiths, can they do something a little special or magical?
Yes, I've heard of that. I've heard that the armorsmiths do sometimes have particularly rare armors, magical or not. They do sort of do well with the nobles in this town, who have recently made a decent amount of coin. He like hushes his words when he says that.
Who do you think will identify our items? The scribe?
Depending on the item, I think most of them might be able to do it. He thinks, and he says, "There's an alchemist, Mina, who is in town. She's been here quite some time. I'm familiar with her. She does good work with potions. She might be able to identify an item as well. There's also Samila, who, despite the name, is a very tough-looking, younger, new person to town. And he says, like, new dragonborn to town. Don't get a lot of those around here. He's seen the world and knows a good bit about magic. Specializes in scrolls. There's a competing scroll store in town by another dragonborn, surprisingly, called Niacinmas, Sorceress Scriptorium. and yeah, he says, well, he seems to have moved in just around the same time. They're at each other's throats every time I see them, I swear. But they both do good work in spell scrolls. I've looked into both of their shops. I'm not a particularly magical person, mind you, but they seem to be quite legitimate. There's a trader who might be able to help you. He has some more different items. He comes to town only once every few days. He does happen to be here today. He has a cart he calls the Dragon's Vault, but it's a little bit of a lie if you ask me. He's got some interesting items, sure, but he's not quite a dragon's hoard. He points to the other side of the market, shows you where that guy is. And then he points in the direction of the armorers and the weaponsmiths, and says they would be able to identify their respective trade items.
Okay, thank you. That was very informative.
Thank you. And he holds the coin up, puts it in his purse, and walks off.
I look to Wesley and Alex. Do you have preference on where you want to go? I think one of the scroll places or the alchemist might be our best bet for identifying everything. And then we
I
can
think
just...
it would be useful for me to go to one of them first. At least the alchemist first or second.
You need some potions or something, right, Thrust? Or that's something we should get?
Yeah,
So
well,
maybe an
I want to
alchemist
see
would
what
be
there
good.
is before I spend all my money. But yes, I would like to buy some health potions because I keep almost dying. So it would be good to have some. Let's go to this Mina, and then I really want to meet this Samila. I've never met a Dragonborn before.
Okay.
So to the alchemist first.
Okay, so you head over to the alchemist's shop, and there is a heavy set woman named Mina, presumably because you've been told that that's who she is. And she's got sort of a big scar on her neck, going from behind her ear down to the other side of her neck by her collarbone. And it looks like claws of some sort. She's a little bit bigger, like I mentioned. She's wearing green sort of robes, and she seems to be mixing something. And if I haven't said already, she's an elf. And she's quite old, even for an elf.
Hello, are you Mina?
I am. Who's asking?
I am Thrust the Sharp, this is Wesley Dishlinger, and this is Alex Verlin. We're looking to get some items identified. Do you trade in that kind of business?
She looks at you and says, "What kind of items are you looking to get identified?"
Well, I've got a bag of beans here. We've got a ring that we know does things, but we want to see if it's cursed, maybe. I have this griffin. What else do we have?
You see, when you say "what else do we have," you see this smile come on her face. She goes,
"Oh, I remember my days of adventuring."
You are an adventurer.
Just like yourselves.
Well, I'd love to hear a story about your adventuring sometime, once we've got some time, but mainly just the identifying right now, if that's okay.
That's okay, she laughs.
We have...
she's selfish, right?
Yes.
Could you figure out what this codex is about? I pull out the Codex of Musamu. Got that a while ago.
And we have the Agan Apocrypha as well.
That one was for the amulet, right? No, that was something else.
No,
there's a combat guide.
This was just...
Oh,
this was some random book with an elvish hand on it, and the Agon Apocrypha was, the combat guide thing.
Okay.
Codex, yeah.
Cool. Did you send me some? I have some.
So those are the two books that we have that...
Yeah. Okay, so she looks at both of them, and she says, She takes a look at the Codex of Musamo, and she says, "You'll need to go to the scribes for this one," and she sets it aside. It has
Okay.
some sort of trick to it, but I can't cast spells like that.
That's
She
okay.
sets-
I
she
couldn't
sets it
figure it out
aside.
either.
And she looks at the other one and says, flips through the pages and says, "This one is a book about, well, about how not to die." And she sets it down. There's nothing magical about it. And so she looks, I mean, she says, I mean, maybe something's magical about it, but it's not hard to figure out. You read it. Have you read it?
No, I don't. We haven't had time to read it.
She looks at you, goes, "Try that." She sets it down. Anything else you need identified?
This statuette, and I give her the griffin statuette.
She looks at it and goes, "Ah, again, out of my specialty. But I have seen these before, back in my days. She like looks at you again, looks at it, and says, "This is very rare. You command it to come to life, and it does." And she, like waves her hand over it and says, "It appears it's activated by a command word. But unless you know the word, you won't be able to use it." And she sets it down.
Let's see. Anything with a price next to it is mundane. Is that correct in the party loot list?
Sort of. I've also got these beans here. And I show her the bag with the 5 beans in it. They seem
She,
magical, but I don't know what they do.
She opens the bag up, looks at one of them, like inspects it real close. She gets like a little like magnifying piece of glass, and she like looks at it really closely, as if she were inspecting a gem. Puts her magnifying thing down, and says, "These are very dangerous. Where did you find them?"
I don't exactly remember where we found these particular items. I think it was in... Where did we find them? It was in the tower,
beans?
wasn't it? It was with the ring, wasn't it? I pull out the ring.
Yeah, it was with the ring.
We found it with this ring here. We know that the ring gives you magical powers, but it sort of steals your life away, and it's connected to a drow deity. Do you?
Yeah, Alex will just turn the ring over and show her the little symbol that he had found and the runic word for blood and shit.
It's very handy in a tough situation, but we're not really sure if it's good or evil or if it's cursed.
She looks at it, and she sort of like looks at it scared, like, "Ooh, this is quite disturbing." And she like turns it over in her hand, and she goes, "Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't put it on." And she says, "Is there a particular thing you'd like to know about it?"
Whether it's cursed.
"No, not necessarily. It just seems to be a trade-off, if you will."
Interesting. Alex, do you mind if I take the ring back? I know you don't much like it. Maybe we can find a way to destroy it, or...
Has she been
don't want to use
charging us, or is she just helping us out in hopes of future business?
She is a She is a businesswoman. I do believe that you would probably be paying her at the end of this.
I intend to buy some chemicals and stuff. Could you just glance at these and tell me if they're magical? I mean, I've got an iron chime and an iron brazier, and these pewter bracers don't make any sense. Who would make armor out of pewter?
I think
Some rings.
we've sold all of those, dude.
Oh, okay.
Anything
Never mind.
that's bolded has been sold.
My bad.
Okay, so none of that happens, and then
That didn't happen.
yeah, She looks at the ring. She says, "I'll tell you what, though, that thing is definitely not good. I wouldn't put it on my finger, that's for sure."
Okay, we'll keep an
Yeah.
eye on it.
Did you ask her anything else?
You have potions, yeah?
I do. That is my specialty.
Do you
And
sell
she-
just regular
likes-
healing potions? I'm looking for.
She says, "Yes, I do have a few. I have 2 potions of healing and 1 potion of greater healing."
Just 2? Can you make more? I was looking to buy 4 regular healing potions.
I could make some more.
And
If there's a specific amount you're willing to purchase, you want to pay up front, I can get them done for tomorrow.
how much would it cost if I bought 4 potions? 4 regular healing potions.
She looks at a piece of paper that she has behind her, like, what do you call it? Counter,
Mhm.
and says, "Well, I usually sell them for 50 gold each, but if you're gonna buy 4, where's my calculator? If you're gonna buy 4, 50 times 4.
200.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what kind of discount she gave you. I could do.
I also have some
180
things
gold.
that
I put 10 platinum on the table. Is it okay if I take the first 2 now and I'll pay you the rest when the others are done?
So you'll take her regular 2 potions of healing, and then you want her to make 2 more.
Yeah, and I'll pay her 100 gold now. And then 80
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay. She says, "That is acceptable," and she takes the 10 platinum, looks at it to make sure it's not fake, kind of eyes you a little bit, and then, like, with a smile, pockets it and says, "Okay," and hands you the 2 potions of healing, and says, "Come back tomorrow, sometime after midday, and I will be able to give you the others."
Excellent.
do you have any sulfur or saltpeter?
Well, that's a strange question.
Well, I know the farmers like saltpeter to liven up the crops.
Well, let me check my back room. And she goes to the back room and comes back and says, "I do have some, but I'll be needing a little bit of each for, different potions and whatnot. How much do you need?"
Well, I'm needing about a backpack-sized thing of saltpeter and maybe 2 fists of sulfur.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I get mine from travelers who come to town, merchants. I have some of each, but I don't have a lot, so I wouldn't be able to sell you that much. But what I could do is tell you who I get mine from, and so long as you promise not to buy all his stock, I can give you the information.
That sounds fair.
Okay. And she takes out a piece of paper and scribes down in sort of this, like, chicken scratch handwriting, the name of some sort of traveler, who I will look up and give you, and then
And he's not from here. He's not local.
no, this would be a halfling named Arton. He comes to town, mostly peddling rarer goods, but he's sort of got some more bulk goods as well. He usually brings some wheat or barley. He brings different things from the city depending on what's available. And he tends to be the one who has things for potions. He actually even has some potions himself, but I'll give you a better price than he will.
Are we planning on staying here for a little while?
I don't see why not.
What was the name of the place we're staying at, Mr. Frost?
The Tranquil Tent.
If he shows up in, I don't know, within a week, tell him to find Wesley at the Tranquil Tent and he can make a bit of coin.
She writes down on the piece of paper for herself now and sticks it in like her pocket and says, "I'll remember that if I see him before you do. But you can usually find him in the market if he's in town."
But I would like to buy a little bit of what you have. I'm running awfully low.
Okay, so she gives you like a sort of like a small vial of each one.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry that I misspoke. That's not near enough. But thank you, and I'll give her a silver for her offering and to make sure she relays the information.
Okay, so she happily takes that.
Is there anything
Is
else
there
we need in
anything
here?
else you wanted from her?
Actually, we'll buy that sulfur. It's kind of hard to find.
So she says okay and packages some up. And how much do you like? What do you use this for again?
Um, it's 15% of my black powder. No, it's 10% of the mix for my black powder.
Okay, how much does it usually cost? Do we have a?
No idea.
Yeah,
I
I
don't,
really
I don't
need to
think
And
you
I haven't
guys
found-
ever actually settled on a price. You just thought
I
of
think I
something
just like
depending on how
picked
rare.
something. Yeah, I don't know. I really need to
But
write this.
there's less uses for it besides like matches or
Yeah. I don't know. Just give her like a couple gold, and we'll figure out how much it's actually supposed to be. You can never make things
well,
easy.
I mean, whatever the market value is, but then bartering it doesn't. I'm cool either way. Wesley's shopping experience, the prices vary wildly.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea what it is I'm supposed to price.
Well, no,
things
no,
at.
just because it's Wesley and people are dicks sometimes.
That too.
And he asks for weird bullshit that people are like, fuck, I don't know.
It's mostly because of asking for weird bullshit.
Yeah.
And racism. 100 gold for a little bit of lead. Oh, that seems a little bit steep.
No, it's a good price.
I mean, I could just make it. I could just make this out of gold at that point.
That would be hilarious. Gold bullets.
Actually, if I can't find lead, that's not a bad plan. Gold's heavy.
And actually, if you ever needed silver bullets, you could just melt down silver coin and.
That's a good freaking
There you
point.
go.
Yeah,
I hadn't
you
thought of
really
that.
like
Silver,
silver
yes.
weapons.
Gold's too malleable.
Why? Yeah,
it
why?
wouldn't work as well.
Yeah, I don't think
Well,
you would
that's
do as much
That's why you
damage.
shoot lead. It's heavy and it's malleable.
Well, I was just saying, like, if you ever need silver bullets, don't buy the stuff. I mean, just get silver coin and go with it from there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, give her a gold piece for. She's selling you like one use of silver or sulfur, whatever one use gets you, one amount. You know what I mean? One unit.
Like an ounce. I don't know.
No, like whatever you're doing with it, like it's one of whatever that is.
1 bullet's worth of sulfur.
Would that be like 20
no.
bullets?
Yeah,
20
one whatever a batch is, it's one of those.
Yeah, a batch of
Okay,
arrows is 20.
20 bullets worth of sulfur.
Yeah, 20 bullets worth of sulfur. I assume you don't need like an immense amount. She gives you a little bit,
Yeah.
If it's only
Okay.
10%, yeah.
and it's like a gold or something. I don't know.
That's
Uh,
fine. That's very
In the end, all it really needs to come out to is that it's what did we say? What's the price? A gold for however whatever the price of arrows is.
It's
Maybe
one
it was-
gold for
the actual
arrows.
Yeah.
lead was like 1 gold for the 20 bullets, I guess.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
As long as it comes out to like roughly 1 to 2 gold per shot, I'm okay with that.
Did she ever tell me what the beans do, or just that they're dangerous?
Oh
Just
no,
that
she
they're
didn't. So
dangerous.
she says to you regarding the beans, sort of backtracking. She says, each of these beans, when planted, can do something very mundane or very dangerous, and you won't know until it happens. Some of these, they're very unpredictable, and I don't recommend using them unless you're in a safe place. If you were to put this in the ground where we stand right now, you could ruin my entire shop, the shops around it, or the whole town.
Oh
Please
wow.
Be very careful with these.
If you put it in the ground really, really, really fast and very hard. Would it still work?
She looks at you and goes, probably. Like, what? She looks at you like, what kind of a question is that?
I'm gonna make me a beam gun.
That'd be awesome. Of course, you
Oh,
only
we
have
come
3
up against a
shots,
clay
but-
golem. I shoot a bean into it, and the pyramid comes out.
Great.
Well, okay. Well, I'll be very careful with them and only plant them if I need to, I suppose. So there's no way of telling what will happen until you plant them, correct?
That's right. And she says, you might get toadstools, you might get a geyser of beer, you might get a treant, you could get eggs. I've even heard terrible, terrible things coming out of the ground when these are put in it.
Okay. Well, thank you. I think that's everything that I need. Alex, especially, do you...
I don't think I need any potions. I don't really know much stuff with alchemy, so
Okay. Shall we go to one of the scroll people and see if he can figure out our book situations and scrolls and stuff?
well, she did recommend we just read the other one. Would we seem dumb if we don't read it and we ask about it again?
I mean, I'm not gonna read it right now, and I don't really like books. Maybe Lyra can read it. She seems like the book person.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired after spending a night deciphering that other book.
Yeah.
That was really
Do you
hard.
Not like books,
Why-
Mr. Thrust.
They're just, I learn by listening and talking to people. I don't really like books that much. I had a very annoying teacher
think-
when I was growing up.
Maybe Thrust would like tapestries or paintings more that just tell a story through an image,
Yeah, or,
like an image of himself.
or a mirror. Me telling myself a story. Oh, that's good.
That's
We, sorry.
Thrust is narcissist.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you, Mina. I'll be back tomorrow to pay for the rest of those potions.
Has she given us a price for identifying stuff?
She identified one bag of beans. That's about it.
Well, she identified the beans.
And a griffin.
She didn't
she
tell
mostly
us.
told you. She mostly told you to go see someone else, and she did tell you about the griffin.
Yeah. Do we pay her anything or?
She sort of seems to have not been worried about it.
I did just buy 4 potions, so.
Right.
Okay. Well,
So
thank
long
you.
as she gets cash.
Yeah. Do you want to do Gilbert and Lyra while we like to break it up so that?
Sure.
Look,
I trust nothing good to ever come out of Gilbert and Lyra traveling together.
Yeah.
They're gonna come back
Oh,
with like 10 different
More
animals.
pets.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, I imagine that while me and
Sure.
Lyra are walking from the town hall to the stable, we're actually like talking about all the different kinds of animals we can make into mounts for like an animal army.
Oh, you know what? Lyra's just reading off the various creatures she's written down in her book to Gilbert. It's like a pet catalog. Which of these do we go capture?
Actually, yeah, I can.
This
actually
is a real thing.
I can actually see her having like her own book going like, yeah, I've seen all these creatures, Gilbert, and like, ooh.
She has
ooh,
more
I want
than
that
one book. She has
Okay, it's canon now.
tons of books.
All the
Lyra is
potions
reading-
in the alchemist shop start rippling as all of your pets just start charging down.
Oh wait, what's gonna happen with Gilbert and Lyra? It's gonna be that one scene from Jumanji, just a stampede.
Yeah.
We've got to do it now, Gilbert.
We gotta have the animals, but I think Jim may kill us by the time we're done. Like whenever we try to like, well, I can just see us now. You know, like we have all these animals, and we have to go across the sea. We're like, yeah, we need 5 boats.
We come across the elephant and we're just like, I want that, and then it just crushes us.
I want that.
I want that elephant.
Okay, so you're going to the stables?
Yeah.
Yes.
The ones that he suggests, which I think were this ones here, or next to our tavern.
Yeah. So you go over to the stable, and you walk up and you see there's a person, and don't ask me the name yet because I know you're gonna ask me the name, and I don't know the name yet.
What's their name?
Is he a dwarf?
Yes.
Okay. Can't have everything.
Okay, you walk up, and a sort of pudgy but not super heavy guy is standing, taking care of a horse, and it seems there's a younger, maybe like an apprentice or something, running about, shoveling shit in the back. And he looks at you as you approach the stables and says, "Hello, my name is Gonmo. What can I do for you? I run this here shop."
Hello, Sir Gonman. My name is Lord Gilbert Deep Hollow and I'm from Huphole. I unfortunately recently lost my mount due to battling the undead scourge in the woods, and I was told here by someone from the town hall that you may be able to sell me some war mounts that I can take into battle with me, or may know of someone who does.
I see.
This is my friend Lyra.
Just
Hello,
kind of nod.
Well, I do have some horses. They're meant for people of the like a dwarves size, but I think that I could probably put you on one of them and you'd be okay. Maybe a little bit big for you, but not unreasonable. And he shows you around. He has some smaller horses. They're not like crazy big war horses that might be for like a dragonborn, but more
Okay.
for like dwarf, like someone who's in the 4 foot. So you'd be
Okay.
a little big, but you'd be fine.
So it's kind of in between a horse and a pony.
Yeah, they're like
Size-wise?
smaller horses. Yeah.
Okay.
He says these are local horses, native to the island. I've also got some horses coming over from the mainland, but they won't be here for some time.
And have any of these horses actually not this training or anything, but have they ever actually like been in battle or anything?
A good question. He like waves to like the one side of the stable and says, "Those are the younger ones. They haven't yet had their full training." You see like some younger small horses with their parent horses and stuff. Those are the ones that are meant to breed. And he points to the one he's been talking to you and like this other side of the stable, and he says, "These ones are the ones that I'm ready to sell at the moment. They have had training," and he points to one down the way and says, "That one over there, that's fuck, I don't know what horse names are. How do you name a horse?"
Usually-
they
usually-
have
usually
any
something
type of
silly.
names.
Jim,
Usually
you need to
They've got
follow this.
great names.
You need to
Usually like-
follow this logic.
Usually like
Name all horses roach.
Buttercup or Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Buttersnap.
Buttercup down there, she's much better in battle than all the rest. She's headstrong and doesn't give a shit about anyone. Literally, she will shit wherever she wants. She's
At
the
that-
best trained for battle.
At that, I just laugh. I'm like, I like her already. So like, I like walk up to Buttercup with Lyra, and I just kind of give Lyra a look, like to look over the horse just to make sure it's okay. You know, I don't want to insult the guy that in here. But while she does that, I go up to saying, "Now I'm going to need some barding and the saddle and bridle, pretty much everything for the horse since my last mount got all of his stuff did not survive."
I see. I should be able to furnish that for the right price.
I inspect the horse. Can I do like an investigation or an animal handling?
Yeah, why don't we do like an animal handling, because you never get to roll.
It has a big dick.
Yes.
It's a woman
Oh.
horse.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It has
if
a
it's wo-
big dick.
if it's a
It
woman horse
makes it
with a
even
dick,
more surprising.
Oh god.
Like, why is
This lady has a bigger
dick.
dick than me.
Okay.
That's what they learn if she rolls a 1.
Yeah. Okay, so you look the horse up and down. It does look good and strong. When you go over to it and like put your hand up to like touch its nose or whatever the fuck you call it, a horse's face, and it doesn't flinch at all. It seems to be very well tempered and ready for battle. It's smaller, than a great big war horse that might be for someone like a human or a dragonborn. And it's more of a smaller, but still pretty muscular and clearly well trained horse. It seems good to you.
Okay.
Now we just have to figure out what the fuck horses cost.
What type of horse?
That's a great question.
If it's a regular horse, it's like 50 GP.
Yeah. I
If
think
it's
it
a
would be
war horse, I think it's around 200 or 150.
Yeah. So what I would say is so war horses are 400 gold. I don't think it's going to be quite that expensive. Just because a war horse is very big.
Mm-hmm. And this one's not so big.
Right. But it is meant for and trained for battle. So I would say the price is still going to be closer to a war horse than a regular horse.
Oh
So
yeah, I would assume.
especially because you need things like the barding and everything as well. That is, let's see.
What does it mean by 4 times X4 for the bard?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Does that mean
that's the price? That's 4 times the price.
4 times the price
price
of
the
what?
horse?
Okay, let's say I want plate mail armor. The plate mail armor price times 4.
okay.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
very expensive, which
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Okay, so you go over to this horse, and he walks up beside you and says, "She's the best horse I have. If you're looking for one to take in the war." Now, I will be honest with you. Almost all of these horses are going to be bought by Lord Barnabas for his guard and his army. I don't need to sell any of them because they're basically already sold. He doesn't have claim to it, but if you don't buy this horse today, I lose nothing. So I won't be able to give you a good discount. I need to make money for this horse if I'm to sell it to you now.
Oh, I completely understand, good sir. Now, I don't have the book open, so for you, Jim. So I'm just going to ask how much it would cost him to have medium barding for the horse made.
Okay, let me look. I need to know how much the armor would cost normally.
A chain shirt is 50 gold, but so scale mail. If you're medium. But a breastplate is 400. Depends how,
Yeah.
because chain mail is only 75 gold, and that's 16. AC is 16, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could get splint mail, which is 200 gold, which is 17. Which would be 800 for you.
I basically need the entire horse and whatever barding and everything to include be under 1,200 gold.
Chainmail would be your
Can we-
most would be your best bet because it's 16 AC and it's going to be 300 gold for the armor, not including the horse. Which is pretty good.
But 3 times 4 is 12.
No,
but-
it's 75 gold, so 75 times 4 is
75
300.
gold. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's a heavy armor
Chainmail,
with
yeah.
a strength requirement of 13.
I'm pretty sure a horse has more than 13 strength, but you have to check.
So the war
I'm
horse
gonna-
normally has 18, so it shouldn't be a problem. If we adjust it down to be medium sized, I still don't think it would be a problem.
16 AC for 200 gold on a horse isn't too bad.
Yeah. We can use the pony for the stat block. The stat block looks good.
the pony stat block?
Yeah.
All right. Can it does it carry more than the pony since it's a little bit bigger, or is it around, or is everything pretty much the same?
How much does a horse carry?
I thought 400 and something, but it may be more.
Warhorse is 500 and something, I think.
How do you know?
It says
It
carrying
says on the,
capacity. Yeah,
Yeah,
540.
warhorse can carry a lot.
Oh, okay.
A pony can only
Yeah.
carry 200.
I'd say it's like 300.
300. Okay.
300 pounds.
And pony, so 15, 10, 13, 2, 11, and 7. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he says to you, this war pony or war horse, whatever you want to call it, is well trained. Although a bit smaller than maybe the finest bred war horses of the mainland, she still fetches a good price. I'll need 250 gold for her.
I look good. That is an awesome. That is very good, sir. Thank you. Would you be able to because I assume we're staying the night, guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
would
have to
you-
wait for Barnabas.
I'm meeting a person later on tonight for some business. Would you be able to hold Buttercup here for me until tomorrow?
Of course, I can hold Buttercup for as long as you'd like.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And he's charging 250.
250 for the horse, and then for the barding, it's going to be whatever you want times 4. So if you want a chainmail, it's what did we say? 75 times 4.
Which is 300.
300 gold.
So 550 total. It's not bad.
Yeah.
And I still have some money left over.
Does
Okay. Yeah.
Does the pony have 11 hit points, or does it have more?
No, it'll be scaled up to be.
Yeah, because the last time we did it, whatever his level is times how many levels I had.
Yeah. So.
Because the pony has two d8
plus 2.
plus
so,
2, so that'd be
Yeah.
Well, he would all.
It just means the hit die is 1d8. So use a 1d8 hit die and adjust it up to your level.
per level. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll
And
just
the con
read.
is +1.
And the what?
The Constitution modifier is +1.
+1. Yeah, I got that. I don't know. Yeah, I know why.
So if it's level 5, it would be 5d8 plus
Mm-hmm.
2, where the first d8 is maxed.
Gotcha. And I'll just reuse Tucci's thing.
Okay. All right. So that's taken care of, and you pay the man, and you pay him for the barding too. He says he'll get the barding done and put on the horse and ready to go for you for tomorrow, and whatever, like, can hold it for longer if need be.
Oh, and before we go, I'll pull Scooter out of the bag. It was like, do you know where we could possibly get armor made for a spider?
He looks at you and goes,
I love that. That's
like,
awesome.
wide eyes, like, what the actual fuck? And like looks at the spider and he's like, that is the biggest spider I think I've ever seen.
We're training him to be a mount when he's older. He's just a baby right now.
A baby?
Yeah, that's a baby. He's a giant wolf spider. He's quite cute.
What are you doing bringing one of those into town?
He's harmless. And I'm looking at him completely serious, like I don't see why this is a problem.
He like shuts his mouth because you just paid him a bunch of money, and he's like, okay, I don't know anything about armor for spiders, I'm sorry.
Do you know anybody that would make some for me or help me make some for him?
No. He's like, he just doesn't know what to say.
Everyone in town. When are these weirdos leaving?
Yeah. like you basically have just gone up to somebody and been like, can you make armor for my, like, goldfish?
Hey, don't underestimate goldfish. They have a full 1 hit point or half a hit point. That's the
Lyra
same as a
is-
cat and peasants.
Lyra's fully
goldfish is like-
socially inept, so she has no idea this is a problem.
Okay. Yeah, he gives you this awful look like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What did I
Do you
do?
have a
Sally?
smith or someone who makes armor for regular
Yes.
people?
Yes, yes, yes. He says yes. And he tells you the name of 2 smiths in town that make armor.
Uh,
And I can tell you who they are. I'm just kidding.
okay. And maybe where they're located as well.
Yeah, he tells you. We're not going to worry about the exact
Yeah.
placement in town, but yeah, he tells you where they're located. One of them is a dwarf named Barnev, or Bannerv.
Bruce
Yeah.
Banner.
He says there's a place called Benarv and Ariel's Armory. One here, and they make some armor. They have more. They're kind of quality over quantity, he says. And then there's also more focused towards leather. He works with them a little more. There's this place, the Griffin's Leather and Chain. He works with them more for the horses. Maybe they would be able to help you. And he says, like, with a million question marks.
Thank you. Very
No
helpful.
problem.
So, Gilbert, you want to go to the Griffin's Leather and Chain first?
Yeah.
Since he said he might be able to help.
Yeah, let's check it out. It would be nice to get Scooter all decked out in armor.
Yeah. Maybe we can find something fire resistant as well.
Are you actually going
Too
to try to
soon.
buy armor for this?
Yes.
Spider? You realize he's like the size of like a tarantula.
Yes.
Okay.
I want him to live.
Okay. I want him to live, she says.
Don't-
Okay.
Just buy him a box. Don't
I
need to
agree
make
with
armor
Leslie.
for him. Just buy him a box.
He'll grow out of it real quick.
He will.
Yeah.
Just
well, no,
buy a
spiders
metal
actually
box.
don't grow that quickly, especially giant spiders. I know it's
You're
weird that I
ruining this for
researched
Gilbert,
this.
okay? You're ruining this for Gilbert. Let the spider grow quickly.
Okay. Well, he said it'd be like 2 years before the spider was even full grown. I
Yeah,
think that
that's-
speaks
Damn
for
it.
itself.
But I mean, 2 years is still a long time.
Just buy a metal box and carry it around.
But I would say he might be able to like participate in combat after like a year or so.
A
even if you
metal
can't ride
box
him.
would cook him.
It would just be hilarious.
We
to
get
have,
hit by
like,
fireballs a lot.
to have like a huge spider after 2 years have like the same armor on. It's like a great big guy with like a small shirt on, like it's really stretched on him and everything, you know.
Nah, it's when you want to recapture your child's baby years, so you put him in the baby clothes. That's what
Yeah,
you're doing to your
okay.
spider.
Okay.
Oh.
You're
So-
making them wear their baby booties.
We never did take the booties off Nyx.
He
And
never
he's
did.
probably still freaked out because Nyx is with me. Nyx is always with me.
Yeah, he's freaked
This
out
is just
about
like-
that.
this
He
is
would
my
have been
life now.
freaked out already.
One of the horses spooked, and he was like, "Can you not have that cat here?"
Nyx can be outside of the place, obviously, but not too
He's-
far away from me.
Yeah,
So I could send her out when he tells me to.
yeah, he would have asked you to, for sure. Anyways, let's move forward.
Yep.
What else we would like to do?
Wesley would like to go to the general trader.
Okay.
I guess that would
Like,
be the
somewhere
dragon
to get,
sword.
like, tools and supplies, or
Well, like
the
magic
magical
trader.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
you've been told that that person is more towards the market. You've had it pointed out.
Sounds like Thrust wants to go too.
Thruster's gonna go
I
to the
think-
scroll shop.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
with
well.
Thrust at the scribe.
So yeah, you can go solo.
If he has a book about tactics, I'd really like to read that.
Okay.
Well, I think we're going ask the scribe about it, but then you could probably read it tonight when we're done shopping and you're all alone with your thoughts.
Don't I owe Thrust some money?
No.
Actually, I'll just tag along with you guys because that's probably.
Because he
Okay.
needs someone to
Fuck,
carry his stuff.
Pick a shop, pick who is going, and go there.
I go to Magic Shop.
Which one?
The scribe. We're going to the scribe.
Okay, you had two scribes detailed to you. Samila?
Samila's where we're
and-
going. Because he's
Okay.
a dragonborn, and I want to see a dragonborn.
Well, they were both dragonborn.
Oh, were they? Oh,
Yeah,
What color?
red.
let's go
Both?
to Samila. He was the first.
Okay. All right.
You said.
So you go to Samila's Scrolls, and there's a big wooden sign, maybe like a couple feet wide on the top over the door. It's a two-story building, stone walls, and it seems like the shelves are actually made of like an elven style metal and wood, and it's brightly lit by magical candles and chandeliers. The shopkeeper is a young male dragonborn, who you know now is named Samila, and
Shamila.
he's, let's see. Yeah, so you see there, as you walk in, there's lots of scrolls lining the shelves that I mentioned. And he looks up and says, "Oh, hello. Who do I have the pleasure of meeting today?"
Well, that's Thrust. I'm Alex, and the guy who's kind of being fidgety in the corner is Wesley.
"Hello, Wesley. It's good to meet you. I'm Samila.
Nice to meet you.
I like to see somebody with skin as red as mine."
Oh, yeah, he's just a bit red.
No, actually.
Most people don't like it. Most people don't like red skin.
Yeah, most people are idiots.
That's true.
What can I do for you?
Well, we actually wanted to have some items looked at, but maybe buy some scrolls as well. I pull out the Codex of Musamo again. Could you figure this out? I tried to, but I couldn't get it to open. And I don't want to break it.
He looks down at it and reads it for a second. He says, "I can open this, but I will need to charge you for the spell scroll in order to open it."
Sure. How much would that be?
It's a good question. We're gonna go look up how much spell
Also-
scrolls are.
Just a quick ask. I'm not incredibly well versed on the way spell scrolls work. Is it possible to do reaction spell scrolls, or spell scrolls only action possible things?
I think they can just be any spell, but I might be wrong.
That's a good question.
Because I don't know if you can only use the scroll as an action. Because if that's the
using a
case, you couldn't
scroll
really
is an action.
use. Yeah, so reaction spells wouldn't really be able to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird for reaction spells because you have to. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right.
A spell scroll bears the word of a single spell written in a mystical cipher. If the spell is in your class's spell list, you can use an action to read the scroll and cast its spell without having to provide any of the spell's components. Otherwise, the scroll is unintelligible. If the spell
Okay,
is
that-
on your class list but a higher level than you can normally cast, you can make an ability check to try to cast. And there's a
Alright.
DC.
So that answers that.
And then it crumbles to dust after being used. And there's a saving throw that's cast in order to cast it, and in order to understand, or in order to copy a spell scroll, you need to make an Arcana check. Now the question is, what is it worth? So it looks like he would have to charge you 25 gold.
I will hand him 26 gold because he's friendly.
Okay. He takes your 26 gold, puts it on the counter, and grabs
so
a
bad at
spell
bartering.
scroll and says,
I don't barter.
"This is my last spell scroll of this kind." And he says the word out loud, waves his hand over it, and immediately the entire room goes completely silent. and like you can't hear anything in it. You get that like ting sound in your ears, and he opens the latch on the book, and it comes apart. Um, he hands it back to you, like waves his hand again, and everything comes back to life. You hear the city again, and he says, "All you needed to do was remove sound."
That that's
I could do
That's all.
that. Jesus.
I didn't think to do that at all.
Well, thank
thank-
you.
Thank you.
No
Do we still have the
problem.
Griffin statue out with us, or is that
Yeah, I've got
Gilbert?
it.
Yeah, no, I gave that to Thrust.
Oh, Thrust, do you want to see if he can figure out the magic word for that thing for Gilbert?
Yeah, we've got this griffin statue that apparently turns into a griffin with a command word, but we don't know what the word is. Could you tell us or figure it out for us, and how much would it cost to do that?
Although that sounds a reasonable request to some, unfortunately, and he like takes the griffin from you as you hand it to him. There's no way to know the command word unless you know it. Like I cannot tell the word just from the statue. You need to know the word from the person who made the statue. So unless you know the word and you're attuned to the statue when you say the word, nothing will happen. But you must be attuned to it in order to have it react.
Okay.
So it have to be attuned and know the word.
I pull out a
That's
slip
not
of paper and I say, "This paper here, we found it with the griffin. Do you think maybe this is the word?" And it's
He like looks at it. Could be any word. Looks like it might be to me.
this,
Hands it
but
back to you.
this slip of paper here is not like a scroll or magic or anything. It's just
No, it's just a slip of paper.
okay. Maybe we'll see if that works later. We've
Sounds
also
good.
got 2 spell scrolls here. Could you identify what they are? And I pull out the 2 spell scrolls that we have.
Shit. You guys don't know what they are?
No?
We
No,
do
you
not.
never
How
told
am I
us.
So I
supposed to know?
Guess you could roll like a
No, I
d4
remember. I
versus
remember. They're in my notes.
you
somewhere.
had things in mind. Sweet.
Yeah, no. I
They're
know
both
exactly.
fireball scrolls that only target self.
I can't use fireball scrolls, so they'll be useless.
Gilbert can.
Okay,
Or
so
firebolt, yeah.
the book that was unlocked, you'll have to read it in order to gain its things.
Will do.
The other one, the Agon Apocrypha, was locked, but like the key is on a chain that is on the book, so you could just unlock it. And then he takes I see the 2 spell scrolls now. He takes them and says, okay, this one here is a spell called Guiding Bolt. And this other one is a familiar spell, Darkness. And he says, unfortunately, I'll need to charge you 1 gold each for
I'll pass him 2 gold.
those. Thank you very much. And he like, puts it down next to the other gold. Anything else I can help you?
I don't think I can do those types of spells.
Let me just check to see if I can use them.
Can you do them, Thrust?
I don't.
If you
know.
can use them, you would have known.
Oh, okay. Well.
If it's on your class list, you will know what the scroll does.
Oh, okay.
So if it's
because
possible
we
for you
didn't
to
know it,
cast
yeah.
it.
I think I could cast darkness though, but I could be wrong.
If you can, then let's all retcon it, and you know what it does.
I cannot cast darkness.
Okay.
I've got
Darkness and
these
Guiding Bolt.
3 old books that we found in an abandoned castle held by undead goblins.
Oh.
Are they interesting to you? They're kind of I kind of thought they were a bit boring.
He looks at them and says, I don't know the dialect that these are written in. I can barely speak common. But Perhaps someone who is a resident here, someone who lives here, and has for a long time, might find interest. He hands them back.
Okay. Do you have
There
any
are
books on like
scholars.
tactics?
He says there are scholars over in Lakemont who may be interested in something like this. Perhaps inquire there.
Would you be interested in trading these spell scrolls for some of your own? We can't use these. Maybe you have some that we could use.
Trading scrolls
for,
would be
For
reasonable.
like credit towards getting other ones.
Yes.
I'm sure there are people who would buy those.
Yes, I agree. I do not actually have guiding bolts, so I would be interested in acquiring that one.
Do you have what scrolls do you have here?
He says, I've got a few good scrolls. I have these, and he hands you like some to look over. These are my most popular ones. Anything else would require a little bit more work to acquire, but these are the ones that I have ready now. And you look over them, and they are dancing lights. So if you can cast dancing lights, you would know what it says.
Mhm.
Darkness, which you would recognize as you could see as probably the same as the other one.
Yeah.
But you also don't know what it does unless you can cast it. Gentle repose, same deal. Planar binding, tongues, and unseen servant.
Would you that tongue scroll? I wouldn't mind. Perhaps trading. Would you trade the guiding bolt for the tongues, or maybe with some gold?
Yeah, give me 1 second to. I need to know what level the spells are in order to price the.
Tongues is
believe
3,
tongues is
guiding
the
bolt
third
is
level.
1.
Okay, so he says, he says, there is quite a big difference in the value of those two scrolls.
We could.
But I'm
pay
more than
the
happy to
difference.
give you a credit towards tongues. It is one of my more popular scrolls due to the prevalence of diplomatic leaders needing to talk to one another but not knowing how. It did much better on the mainland than it does over here. Everybody kind of speaks common, but nonetheless, it is a very valuable scroll. It is worth about 400 gold. And the one you've got in your hand, if I were to sell it to someone else, it would be worth roughly 25 gold.
What
So
about?
I can give you that 25 gold in trade if you would be willing to pay the remaining 375.
What about the darkness scroll as
The
well?
dark-
What if we traded both?
Is that level 2?
Yeah, level 2.
That one is worth 150 gold. I would be able to give you 125 gold credit. So you would have 150 gold credit and 250 gold deficit towards tongues.
Is everyone okay if I do this? I can pay extra.
I'm-
So, what exactly are you trying to do?
I'm buying
Wow,
a
okay.
scroll.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
yeah.
it's fine.
Alright.
I can't do those spells, and we're not. The others aren't really that good at magic stuff.
You
I
have to
think
be able
Lyra
to
can do a
cast
little bit.
tongues as part of your class list
Yeah,
in order
I
to
Bards
get
can
it.
learn tongue.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Well,
as long as
if
you
everyone's
can
okay
learn
with it, I'm happy to pay 250 gold and the 2 scrolls for this tongues scroll.
That sounds good to me. And so you do the transaction. He puts the gold in the pile on the table that all the other gold is in.
Mhm.
Says, thank you very much. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Do you make?
Going to whisper.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, no. Never mind.
Um,
He said what scrolls he had.
I would love to have an illusion scroll. Do you make scrolls, or do you know anyone who might have a scroll like that? And I'd also like comprehend languages, but
He like looks through his shelves to see what he might be able to make. What level are those?
first and second.
Okay. Let's do for the level 1 spell. Let's do a DC of like 10 to see if he can do it. Okay, so he's gonna have to say that he just ran out. He sold his last one because he never found that anyone wanted it, so he got rid of his last remaining one. He couldn't copy it.
Okay.
And then the other one will do a 12 DC. Yeah, so he doesn't have that one either.
Do you know if the other scroll place would have these scrolls?
He gives you a very salty look and he says, "The other scroll place in town is not something you would like to be associated with."
Well, I mean, I need these
Do
scrolls.
they deal
if
in
you
dark
can't do them for me.
magics?
I mean, you were our first choice, but if I can't get these scrolls from you, I'll have to go there. I'm sorry.
I do not know about their stock, and I advise against any business dealings with that terrible person
Why?
calls himself a dragonborn.
What-
He stole from my shop. He came over and copied one of my scrolls in the night.
Well, that's not very
He's
nice.
a terrible cheat and a liar. And I don't recommend doing any business with him.
It's very bad.
Hmm.
It is indeed.
Well, I think that's everything that we need here. Alex, do
I'm good. I don't think I can. I don't really need scrolls as much because either spells are above my level or I just can think about doing it the next day.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to keep all my options open, just in case we need it. Well, thank you.
Do you have a book about tactics or something like that?
Tactics, you say? What kind of tactics?
I think we could like combat and like how not to get into situations where you die. Maybe.
You handed him the Agan Apocrypha, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
He tells you, you have a combat book on you right now.
Oh, we do.
You do.
Okay.
It may not necessarily be a guide to all of combat, but it will certainly give you something useful should you read it.
Good
All
to
right,
know.
then.
Before we leave, do dragonborns hatch from eggs, or are they like live-born? Just
He blinks a couple times and looks at you and goes, "We are live, boy."
oh, okay, cool, good to know. Thank you.
Good day.
I have to say that sounds like a Gilbert question.
Yeah, it was.
That's
Come on, I mean, Thrust and Gilbert have been traveling together so long for some reason. Obviously, they had to rub off on each other.
exactly.
That's true.
Can
Was the
sorry, you go.
Gora Apocrypha written in common?
It's the Agan Apocrypha, and yes.
Do you mind if I keep that for a little while? I'd like to give it a read.
Sure, doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I don't mind. You could probably use some advice on combat tactics. No offense. You're really good at shooting things, Wesley.
Most of my training was just, with that by the forge.
It's everyone fights in different ways, and people like you just need to not be close to anyone at all. Like if something gets close to you, just run away. Or like a snake, maybe sleep a little lighter.
I'm sure you'll get a lot from the book, is what Alex is trying to say.
Yeah, regarding
He
these
still
books.
has a hole in his neck.
Regarding these books, you have to read them for usually, I mean, it depends on the book, but usually it's like 40 hours of reading, and then you get whatever like the book does for you. And if it's a magic book, then it will, like, after you learn it, it will like click in your brain. You'll get like an epiphany, and then like the book will just like
Become a
the
nerd.
words, fade away. Yeah, like it'll become inert.
Okay.
And it won't be able to give anybody else that sort of epiphany. So once
mean-
somebody has read it, it like loses its power.
Aren't you crafting things, Wesley? Are you gonna have time to read this book? Should we give it to Lyra instead?
Do we know what sort of combat tactics it teaches? Can we?
Is
should
this
we
an
walk back
actual
in and-
magical book?
I think
It
I
is.
think it is, yeah. And I think you have to
Should
read
we-
it
Oh,
in a certain
shoot.
amount of time.
No,
should
I
we
was just
walk-
wanting like basics on. I was just wanting something to allow Wesley to roleplay combat a little bit more effectively.
I'm gonna quickly grab the book and walk back in. What sort of combat tactics does this teach? So we
Does it teach
actually
you not
know
to
who
shoot
have
people in the
reflex?
arse?
He chuckles. He's like,
No, he's serious. Our ranger shoots people in the butt a lot on accident.
you don't say.
He's got the scars.
You do.
I kind of just
Oh,
grab Wesley
jeez.
by the shoulder, turn him around. He hasn't gotten
No,
too close, so there's just a little hole.
Oh my god, he laughs so hard. He says, "Well, I don't know, and neither will you until you read it."
Well, I guess we could always just decide later on who feels they need to read it the most. Maybe Thrust would be good to read it. He's up close with people a lot.
Nah, I'm fine. I don't like reading, like I said. I honestly think Lyra is the most book smart out of all of us. Perhaps her and Wesley, but I don't know. It seems like something that Lyra would like.
I think if Gilbert tried to read it, he'd first look for all the pictures, and then look through like each individual word, and it could take him like days to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like each word, like after a while, going, "Thrust, what's this word?" Or word.
Yeah, you'd run out of
"Thrust,
time.
what's this word?"
Okay.
Well,
Can-
thank you for your help.
Thank
And
you.
walk back out. Let him laugh at Wesley as he now knows about the hole.
Oh, he definitely laughs. Okay.
Can
And
I
I assume you're gonna go to that other shop now. after
Yeah,
you
we
told
don't
me
have to
not
roleplay it or anything. I just want to see if he has invisibility or can make it and comprehend languages.
He has invisibility.
I will buy it, please. 150? 175?
Yeah, if it's a level 2, it's 150.
I will give him 150 gold and take that scroll. But he doesn't have comprehend languages?
He does not.
Okay.
Would you like to know what he does have?
Yes, please, actually.
Burning Hands, Circle of Death, Crown of Madness, Grease, Heroism, Invisibility, Locate Animal or Plants, and Magic Mouth.
I would like to buy the heroism as well. 25 gold?
Yeah, 25 for a first level.
Okay.
And because we're skipping the roleplay, he tells you that Salima tried to burn down his shop and that he's actually the good one and Salima's the piece of shit.
Okay.
Can I
insight?
can I
to
roll an
see-
insight while
yeah,
I'm with Thrust?
Yeah, insight.
see which one's lying?
Probably neither.
Yeah.
Them
We're
goddamn
inside
Koas started this feud.
Alex, you think that Niasima, I don't fucking know how to say it. Naya, how I'm gonna say it from now. Naya, you think Naya is right, and Thrust, you think that Salima is.
Oh, that Naya is such a bitch, man. Like, who would steal from another person of their own race?
I'm not sure. It seems like that one might have been telling the truth, but I think they might just dislike each other and want to get more business.
Well, I got what I
Maybe
needed.
they like
so-
each other.
Ooh, maybe.
I think that's only a little kid thing that you pick on someone because you like them. And I don't think little kids usually try to burn down shops or steal magic scrolls.
Well,
Then again,
most
I
little
haven't
kids
actually
aren't
met
part Red
many
Dragon.
little kids. I don't know how many little kids are part Red Dragon. I haven't actually met any Dragonborns. Do they have a place they live?
Yes, in the
Yeah,
world.
they're stores.
Yeah, I would have
I-
asked that if that's okay.
Yeah, so the Dragonborn live in the southwestern part of the mainland continent in a place called the Badlands. Any Dragonborn would tell you that they live in what is equivalent to like a desolate waste compared to like, you know, the forests or hills or lakes or whatever of this region. It's very dry and arid. Think the desert that the Khalasars roam in Game of Thrones, like that,
Okay.
where they have like great cities on the coast, but then like once you go inland, it's nothing. And they do mostly livestock, like for food, and
Yeah.
they do specifically insect livestock, giant insect livestock.
Yum.
And anyone who's from there will tell you it tastes like chicken.
Maybe
Alex
that's
will
where
deny that.
Mr. Gilbert should go find him out. Get him a big beetle.
I think
That would
Gilbert
be
would
possible.
maybe accidentally piss someone off and then get burned.
Maybe.
Should we?
Yeah, but they live far away, so seeing two in one place like that is a significant. Like, it's a significant thing. Like most people have never seen one in this area, let alone two.
Very
I wonder
cool.
if they were a couple at some point and just dislike each other because they broke up.
They're both men.
Two men can be couples.
Makes no difference.
Okay, I'm just suggesting.
Makes no difference, Jim.
Okay, you're right. That was
They just don't need the vegetables.
never mind.
That's for special occasions.
It's for harvest.
Okay. Anyway, so you've done a little bit of shopping. What else would you like to take care of? We don't have to roleplay everything. I know you guys kind of get sick of it after. a while.
Would both groups like to meet up at one of the smiths?
Sure.
Yeah, there's four in
Okay.
town.
Well, weren't me and Lear going to see an armor smith for herself, or was that just for the spider?
It was for the spider,
I mean, we can all meet
but
there.
I probably should look at armor myself.
Studded leather.
Okay, so you go into one of the two. I'll just pick one. If you wanted to go the one that was specific for the spider, you walk into the griffin's leather and chain, and you see that.
Hello, Mr. Hello, Miss Lara. Mr. Gilbert.
Hi, Wesley. Hi, Thrust. Did we ever find out what the griffin thing does?
We have an idea. We'll test it tonight.
Oh, okay. I found myself a very nice mount. Her name's Buttercup.
That's a lovely name. I can't wait to meet her. Buying
Is it
some
a
armor?
cow?
No, they weren't selling cows. It's a little bit bigger than a pony, but she's seen battle, so she shouldn't spook.
If it's not a cow, why did they name it after butter?
Maybe because that's what it likes to eat.
Buttercups
Oh.
are a type of flower. I just kind of look at Wesley and say this deadpan.
They didn't really go out a lot. We're doing this in the foyer of this shop.
Basically, yeah. By the time we
Pretty
leave,
much, yeah.
everyone's just gonna hate us. It's fine.
Speak for yourself.
Let's
Alex
get
gives
to
both
it.
people money.
I go up to the counter and I slap 2/3 of a displacer beast pelt on the counter, and it's kind of sour.
Okay. As you're like, when your hand contacts the desk, you hear like stirring in one of the back rooms of this single-story stone-walled building, which has been furnished with a dwarven-style iron chairs, and there's a bench. It's iron furniture, and it's dimly lit by a few candles. Pretty shabby looking, but the wares look good. And you see this woman come out, a dwarf, and she says, "Hello, my name is Findua. What can I do for you?"
Uh,
I think we're gonna do a fair amount of business here, actually.
yes.
Oh, and when she says, "Oh," you see a bird fly out from the back room and land on her shoulder.
See, I'm not the only one that likes pets.
Yeah, but most people like pets that don't eat. Yeah, never mind.
No, what were you
Lance,
gonna
Lance,
say, Alex?
no,
Having a spider as a pet isn't normal.
Is it not? And I look at him like sincerely questioning this.
It's not. Most people are scared of little bitty spiders, so having a big one is even stranger. Though, I mean, I think adventures in general are strange, which is why they're adventures. So I guess you're normal in that sense.
Oh, and I look confused, but I just kind of think about it.
okay. So you guys are having a conversation in front of her, and she's patiently waiting.
Well, no,
I was
Wesley was
wondering if
talking
you-
to her. This was
Okay.
a background thing.
Okay.
I was wondering if you could make anything interesting out of this hide.
She looks at it.
It was weird. It was there, but not really there, and
She takes a look at it, like furls the edges and like sniffs it and says, "It won't happen overnight, but if you've got the gold, I could make something quite unique out of this."
would it be like or a cape or boots?
Usually, in my experience, these are made into a cloak.
Okay. How much do you think that might be?
Let's take a look at the PDF I have.
Wow, I didn't realize we're gonna get a cloak. It's freaking awesome.
We're gonna get a
She
cloak.
says-
Awesome.
She says, "The gold will be significant because working with this kind of material is very, very difficult. I can do it. I have done it once before, but that was a long time ago. I will need a number of days. Because you have the materials with you, I can give you a discount, obviously. Um, these are rare materials, but it will still cost you a pretty penny. Are you
Okay.
prepared? Are you prepared to pay a large sum to have this done?"
What will it
we have
do?
lots of pretty pennies, and I take out a copper that's really shiny and show it to her.
She looks down at you like you're a child and says, "Oh, that is a very pretty penny," and like pats your head.
What will it do?
She tells you what the cloak of displacement.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow. That would be pretty good for Mr. Gilbert or maybe Alex or anybody really.
That does sound like fun.
I'm thinking I should kind of stay away from like the front line because that's gone very terribly, honestly.
I guess anyone could really use an item like that.
I suppose it's whoever's got the gold to pay for it.
How much is it?
Based off this guide, if it weren't discounted, it would cost 3,600 gold. It's considered a rare item, and
It's pretty strong.
you would, yeah, it's extremely strong. Like I'm not going to be able to give you the guys this for like cheap.
Okay, because
okay,
I'm
that
not
would
really
be
sure
like-
what that does, but it sounds awesome.
It gives disadvantage
That
on
would be
all
three
attacks against you.
people's.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Until you've been hit.
Oh nice.
For every round, you have they have disadvantage on all attacks on you until they hit, and then next round it reactivates.
Yeah, like she's gonna be able to give you like a little bit of money off, but it's not gonna be a lot. Like she'll be able to give you like 600 off, so it would still be like
Oh,
3,000
well,
gold.
We
This is an
also have
immense
this, and I'll put the adamantine chainmail on the table.
Mhm.
Oh, that's pretty rare metal right there.
She looks at it and says, "Aye, it is rare. Where did you find it?"
Oh, under a rock.
Under a rock, you say?
Kind of.
okay. Chainmail. Okay, why are PDFs so hard to search sometimes? Um, so chainmail is normally worth 75. This guide suggests that armor would be worth 575, if I read it correctly.
Okay. Do you think you could make some studded leather out of this chainmail for me and my friend here?
She looks at you and goes, "Son, do you think that leather is made of metal?"
I know the studs are here.
You're suggesting like leather armor of displacement?
No, the chainmail.
Uh,
You're saying.
That'd be
Yeah,
kind of cool.
a separate item with
Like-
just regular leather.
Yeah, adamantine studded is what I think he's trying to get at.
Well,
Yeah.
she looks at it and says, "This is a work of mastery. You can't just change it from one type of armor to another." Now, I do have 2 other adamantine sets that I happen to have in my inventory. One is a breastplate, and one is a ring mail. And I could sort of work out a trade for one of those if you'd like to change from one to the other. They're both equally as good as this, if not better. But they're different types of armor.
I'm more of a light armor type of guy. I think Miss Lara is too.
If you're interested in lighter armors, I do currently have an armor of resistance, which is a padded armor. She says it is ornate and trimmed with the fur of minks. It's resistant to radiant damage. Out of character.
I mean, we could
Um,
always sell these pelts to her for 600 gold if that's what she's willing to take off the cloak.
Yeah, I think she would be amenable to that.
I kind of,
Yeah,
I
think
kind
that's
of,
what we're gonna.
I kind of whisper to Wesley, going, "Make sure it doesn't attract anything."
Oh yeah, we're probably just gonna sell this pelt. I mean, it sounds great and all, and I'm sure you could do it, but it's a little rich for our blood at the moment.
I understand.
So maybe sell the pelts and the armor. Just out of curiosity, I take a suit of very nice +2 leather armor out of my pack and ask her, would you shoot the person that sold this to you? Because I kind of want to shoot the person that sold this to me. I'm still a little bit
Wesley.
angry thinking about it.
She
You
takes a
can't
look
go
at it.
shoot the guy.
At first, she's like, "This seems like very well made armor." She looks at the strap and she goes, "Oh my goodness, this is a very interesting mechanism." And she like plays with it, and then she like looks at it harder and goes, "Wait a minute, I know that mark. I know this mark." And she says, like, "This is the mark of like the guy you bought it from, whose name I don't remember."
Tygon.
Yeah, I
Tygon.
know that guy.
Yeah, I have it in my notes, but yes, this is Tygon's mark. You were over in Lakemont then.
Tygon sold me that cursed armor, and I am not happy about it.
Cursed.
happy
And
at
she
all.
like takes a look at it, and she like,
It made it really easy for arrows to hit him. Like, really easy. As in, if they missed, they would literally just kind of curve and stab him anyway.
she's like looking at it very closely, and you don't say. Well, Tygon is a bit. Well, he's fucking crazy, if I'm gonna be honest with you. And the man will do whatever he sees fit. If he thinks this is the armor you deserve for one reason or another, he'll sell you that armor. There's a reason nobody should go to him.
This armor he deserves.
He sold me some very nice, pretty armor. See, I
Very
saw
pretty,
armor.
and she like pats your head again.
I like her.
Okay. So, I guess we'll just. She only has a studded leather and magical.
So
padded.
she can make any mundane armor. She'll have that in her stock, okay? Or she has a selection of rarer armors, which I can read off to you.
Yeah.
Before you do that, Alex, you wear a breastplate, correct?
Yeah. Alex is like in the most dinged up breastplate with the most dinged up shield and sword. Like, he's the most fucking battle torn paladin ever.
Would you want some new adamantine armor? You could trade your armor and the adamantine for some new armor.
I'm not sure my armor's worth that much
Would be
anymore.
good. But this armor is be
Um,
okay.
Yeah, like it might be a
What-
little bit extra gold, but she said she was willing to trade for our adamantine for hers.
I guess so. Miss, do you have any other special breastplates or maybe shields?
I do. So she first shows you the adamantine armor you're talking about, the breastplate. It's extremely nice. It's masterwork armor engraved with runes of protection. They're not magical necessarily, but adamantine armor does have specific properties because of the hardness of the metal, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So it's going to be the cost of whatever breastplate is plus 500 gold in order to purchase that outright.
So we could trade.
You could trade towards it, yeah, and see what kind of deals she can give you. Breastplate.
Did we?
Yeah, so that would be 900 gold.
But if we traded the adamantine, that would take 570 gold, 75 gold away from that price.
Something like that, yeah. Depending on how persuasive you are. And if you're going to do other things for her.
Miss Larry, would you like some armor too?
I was hoping to get studded, if anything.
Yeah, she definitely has studded
I
leather.
was too. You don't have any like fancy studded leather or fancy leather?
Unfortunately, at the moment, all I've got is ringmail, breastplate, and 2 sets of padded armor. And that's all she says.
So where would giving you the pelt, the armor for the adamantine breastplate, and 2 studded leather armors put us?
That's a good question. Let's
I
do
feel
some
like
math.
we're getting very ripped off if we do that.
Oh, it's
Well,
not
I
gonna be
mean,
one for one.
I'm
Hold on.
hoping we get money too.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
would get money back. Hold on. So 600 plus 575. Subtract 2 studded leather armors and subtract. She totals it all up, does it on a piece of scratched paper, and says, "I could do that trade where you would get 2 studded leather armors." And she like points to them on the wall. She has them like on a shelf, and you can check them out. And 2, or rather, and I can take in the pelts and take in your adamantine set in exchange for my adamantine set, and you would come out with 100 gold to your side.
Do you
Is
have?
the adamantine breastplate the only unique breastplate she has?
She has, yeah, that's the only unique breastplate she has.
Does she have any
Right.
unique shields?
She does.
Oh, what does she have there?
So she has an ornate shield. She says this shield is particularly ornate. It is somewhat magical. Some sort of imbuement. I'm not exactly a completely well experienced magic person, and she doesn't seem to know like how to say that. You know what I mean?
I
But
can
it
say-
was taken from the Dark Warrens of Naki over on the other side of the mainland, and it is a exquisite piece of equipment. It's a +1 shield.
how much would that be?
That's a good question as well. Let's take a look. Shield. I can spell. Typing is hard. Oh, come on. Here we go. 450.
I mean, that shield looks pretty nice on you, Alex.
She has one more nice one.
Ooh,
Gilbert,
Um,
you use a shield sometimes.
Yes, I do.
you use one sometimes as well, thrust. I mean, not all the times, but sometimes when you're not doing like those gestures with your hands.
Yeah, I feel like I don't use it as much as Gilbert and you though, so it'd be wasted on me.
And what type of shield is it? Because at this point, I'm just looking around her shop.
It's a plus
Well,
one.
the
Not paying
first one was a
attention, not really.
first one was a +1 shield.
So if we took the 50, like 100 gold from that, it'd be 400 each from you guys, like from your personal stash, to get the shields.
I would like that if you guys are okay with that. I mean, I already have myself a mount and everything.
I'm fine with it as long as everyone else is.
Just waiting to hear
400
about the
from
shield.
everyone in the party.
No. If because there's 100 left over, if they both take 50 from that, then they would only have to pay 400 each instead of 450 each.
Well,
And
she only
kind
has-
of an odd
Hold on.
request.
She has 1+1, and the other shield is
Oh.
a different kind of shield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she has a sentinel shield as well,
Oh,
which
that was the one I was talking about.
Oh.
she has. While holding
What's
the
a
shield, you have
sentinel
an
shield do?
advantage on initiative rolls and wisdom perception checks.
You should definitely.
Shield
get
is
that one.
emblazoned with the symbol of an eye.
How much is that one?
Yeah.
That one would be about 600 gold.
You should
Yeah, I'd
take
just
that one,
rather the
Alex.
+1
I actually-
shield.
I actually have that. I can actually get that. Unless you want that. Because Thras, you've been wanting a shield like that for a while.
No, you take it. I think you can use the initiative boost. Get
So,
things
how
killed.
much was
Okay.
the +1 shield, Jim?
+1 was 450.
Okay, 450. I can pay that.
And then yours will be 500 Gilbert if you take the 100 away. If you want to do 450.
Is this the one that gives you advantage on saving throws? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
initiative?
Well, not saving
And
throws, but
perception
initiative
checks.
and wisdom. Perception.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely need help on wisdom. So
It's-
yeah, I'll take it. And I like take out the coins from my purse and I hand it to her. You said
Okay.
it's how much? 450?
500 for you.
600.
500? Okay.
Yeah,
and I
'cause
hand
of
her
the-
500 worth of gold.
Okay, so you trade the furs, the adamantine armor,
Mm-hmm.
and gold for 2 shields and
The
the
breastplate.
adamantine breastplate
And the 2
Yeah.
studded.
and the 2 studded
and
leather.
2 studded leather.
So
And
Gilbert
if
pays
it's not too
500.
much bother, could you throw in one left-handed, like, metal bracer?
Jim, would you be willing
maybe.
to take Alex's discarded stuff? You know, breastplate. I assume it would go down to like half price or maybe lower. I don't know how much shields are worth.
She looks over at your breastplate and says, "I would have to melt that down to sell it."
Yeah, I don't
I-
really expect it to be worth much, but I don't really need to carry it around either.
It's worth 400 normally, right?
Yeah, I think 400.
Yeah, let's say she'll give you 100 gold for it.
Fine with me.
And since I'm getting such a nice shield from her, I'll just take my old ones that I always carry with me, and I just hand it to her. I'm not asking her for money or anything. It's just like
Okay.
a kid, like I get a present, I'll give you my old present because
Okay.
it's just a trade.
Okay. So it's painted with an unknown coat of arms, your sentinel shield.
Oh, Sentinel shield. That's what
That's what it is.
Sentinel. Is it and it's steel?
I don't know what it's made out of. It can be made out of whatever you'd like.
Okay, we'll assume steel because I'm going with that.
Okay.
And an unknown coat of arms.
Yeah, painted with an unknown coat of arms.
It's gonna
Could
sound kind
she
of weird.
Throw in,
Go ahead.
could she throw in that one left-handed bracer?
Sure, she gives you
Basically,
Oh.
what we were talking about.
one left-handed bracer.
Well, 20 AC. I've made it, boys.
How do you spell sentinel?
SENTINAL or IL?
AL because I was doing EL.
Yeah, AL.
It's EL.
Dang it.
Oops.
So
Alright.
close.
Because I was trying to find it in the D&D compendium, but it's not there.
Yeah, it might not be.
It's in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
All right, I'll find it.
Page 199.
Ooh, my 199. Awesome, you rock, man.
So advantage on initiative and perception checks. It has an unknown coat of arms, and the coat of arms has a symbol of an eye on the inside of it.
All right.
Cool. So everybody's got what they need. You wanted a bracer. What does a bracer cost? I have no fucking bracer. Set up bracers. If it doesn't
Like,
do anything,
really in
technically,
the
25 gold.
Yeah.
Whatever.
so she wants money for it.
Yeah, like give her like it would be made of iron. Give her
I mean, I did
like
just give you a whole bunch of business.
yeah, calm down. She looks at you and goes, calm down. 10 gold for the bracer. I've got to go make another one to complete the set.
Okay.
Okay, she gives you just the bracer for 10 gold.
Need a light.
Cool. Whew, that was a lot.
You said there was a wand shop.
There is.
Can I see if they have a wand of magic missile or what wands they have? We don't have to.
Oh, they do.
How much?
Wand,
Is,
Specifically,
They
a
actually have multiple.
what wands do they have, and how much are they?
I would have to tell you the prices, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4
I'll just stick with
wands of
thrust
magic
for the sake of
missiles.
shopping.
There's a wand of polymorph, which is very rare, highly expensive.
I'll just.
Wand of secrets, wand of web, a wand of magic detection, and a +1 wand of the war mage.
Okay.
Ooh.
How much is the magic missiles?
Uh, 300 gold.
How much is the web?
Uh, unfortunately, the
How-
wand of web one is not on my list.
How much is
so
a
I'll have to
common
go.
wand of smiles and scowls?
That's like 1,000 gold. I mean,
Oh wow. How much is the wand of instant lance?
No, like the wand of common, like the common wand of smiles and scowls is one of the common Xanathar's
yeah,
items.
it was one of the ones we could have got at the start of our game. Wand of the web.
I couldn't afford nothing.
Wand of secrets would be
I
good
need
as
my
well.
gun.
I mean, we don't have anyone who can find traps and stuff, do we?
Not really well.
No.
How much would the wand of secret? Yeah, basically wand of web, wand of missile snare, wand of magic missile, and wand of secrets are the three that I'm interested in.
Wand of secrets. Wand of web is 250. Wand of secrets is 125.
Oh, I would have given her an extra gold while we were at the leather place for a very heavy leather cord.
Are these all attunement?
Cord? Yeah, that's fine.
They're not. Okay, can I? So,
The
300.
wand of
250.
secrets is not attunement. The wand of web is attunement, and the wand of magic missiles is not attunement.
And you said 300 to what?
300 for magic missiles,
Mhm.
250 for web, and 125 for secret.
So it'd be 625 total. 675
Yeah,
total.
if you wanted one of each.
675.
It would be, correct. 675.
Can I borrow some gold from somebody?
How much is it? Because I was with thrust.
It's 675 total.
Gilbert,
675.
since
Yeah.
you
I don't
act-
mind.
since-
I'll give
since-
thrust 300 gold.
I'll give Thrust 100 and I'll rush over and say here Thrust I give you 169 gold, which is pretty much all the gold I have.
All right,
Okay,
Actually,
so
no,
that's
hold on.
469 towards thrust.
How much are platinum pieces worth again? 10 gold apiece.
10 gold.
Yeah.
And I'll give him 4 platinum.
All right, so 169 and then 4. Okay, I'll buy all three, please. Magic missile, wand of secrets, and a wand of web.
Okay. I can tell you the wand of secrets looks a bit battered, and it's wrapped in brass wire. The wand of web is made of a yew branch, and it once belonged, she says, or actually he says, to a great archmage, supposedly. And the wand
They
of,
always say that.
one of, what was the last one? Magic missiles.
Mhm.
So there's 4 of them, so randomly picking, there's this one that was finely crafted yew. It also transmutes gold coins into potatoes.
I mean, that's good if we're ever starving, but we just happen to find a dragon horde.
Yeah.
Gold coins into potatoes. Awesome.
Awesome.
Or to mess over the wealthy people we don't like.
That too.
Oh, my pockets are tearing open with all these potatoes! My gold!
So the Wand of the Web was owned by a great archmage, apparently.
Supposedly.
Cool. Excellent. So I owe Alex 300 now. I owe... Excellent. Well, thank you. I'm very happy with all the items that I have. And I spent way more than I was expecting.
Okay.
Was
Yes,
there
thank-
a
thank- thank you
more
very much.
standard magic item shop, Tim?
There's the trader in the center of the market who has some magic items, but not a ton. And
I mean, I figured that would be the case since, I mean, it's not like magic items are in high demand. You don't have that many common folk who are like, oh, I have this couple extra 100 gold. Better go look at that magic item shop.
yeah, no, that doesn't happen. But there are nobles in this town with new money, so that's why you've got these shops here. There is another
yes,
armor
new money.
that you never went to. There's another. There's a weapon shop you guys never went to. Two weapon shops you never went to. So yeah, there's like a couple of other things in town.
There's only so much money we have.
Would there be
Yeah.
well, I've been saving mine because I need to find somewhere with like non-weapon, non-wand magical items.
I'm still okay on my money. I have 1,200.
The closest
Yeah,
you'll
I've been
you'll
saving mine too.
is this trader in
I
the
just-
town.
I just spent all of mine on my mount and the shield.
Thrust, I know you're not really buying anything else, but do you want to go with me to this market stall?
Sure, yeah.
I'll go.
Maybe we could find something that'll make your bullets turn magical. I mean, I don't think we will, but maybe.
That would be pretty cool.
Are
Actually,
we still all
I've been thinking
together?
of something.
I
Yeah.
think we're still
Okay.
in that armor shop, yeah.
What if I found a way to shoot those really dangerous beams, like at the ground at people's feet? Then a tree comes up and smacks them in the face.
I mean, couldn't you just use a slingshot for that?
But this would do it farther.
Wouldn't it probably? Well, actually, magic stuff is pretty durable.
And
You might be able
actually,
to shoot
it's
one.
surprising. Like, my bullets are easier to make than rubber. Rubber's super hard to find.
Well,
Unless you mean like a sling.
yeah, that's kind of just what I meant. Well, let's see what we find at this next shop. They might have something interesting. Because
Okay, so you go
handy
over to the
haversack, a
trader.
bag of holding would be neat.
You go over to the trader,
Yep.
and he is not. So it's actually like you've been shopping through lunchtime. So like the lunch rush has come and gone, and like people in the market usually trying to get food are not quite there. It's a little bit of a dead time. It's like that 2 p.m. slump or
Yeah.
whatever. And he's sort of standing at his like cart and like leaning on his elbow or whatever, leaning on his counter, and he sees you guys coming striding towards him and perks up, and it's a halfling, stout halfling, and
Gilbert, it's your brother. Do you know this guy?
Look
so
over-
he's sitting in the center of the market, and he perks up when he sees you and comes up and says, hello, yes, I am Artin. It is nice to meet you. Come check out my wares.
Hi,
It's
Artin.
nice to meet you too. I'm Alex. What sort of stuff do you have? We're kind of just shopping around. We're the adventuring type of people.
Oh, you don't say. Well, I've got just the stuff for you.
I've got a number of potions, and I know there are potions in town. And he like pauses. But don't get me wrong, I've got more exciting one. He shows you he has 2 potions of climbing, 2 potions of greater healing, a potion of supreme healing, a potion of water breathing, and that's it for his potions. And so he takes he reaches out down the counter, pulls out a bag, and like reaches his hand in and pulls out a potion. Goes, then puts it down on the counter and pulls out a potion, puts it down on the counter, and it doesn't seem like the bag gets any smaller.
Um,
Well, that's a neat bag. What's it?
Wow.
What else is in there?
I've got lots of things, and he reaches in and pulls something out. And he goes, he looks at it and goes, I've got this crystal ball, and he like puts the crystal ball down.
Wesley's mouth is open.
Yeah. I don't even know what crystal balls do. I probably shouldn't be giving you this.
I think they
It's
are
very,
both-
very rare. So
I think
I
they're
assume
rare,
you
yeah.
I assume you can't afford it.
I think
whatever.
there are two variations
Unless
of the
it's
crystal
the
ball.
cheap one that's just like a focus for spellcasting. Those
no,
are pretty
it's
cheap.
not that. This is a wondrous item.
Oh shit, that's like a legendary item.
Yeah, it's considered
They're
very
super
rare.
rare.
Yeah.
Let's kill them.
I'm just gonna assume that you can't use it. And he like
Yeah.
takes it out. And he goes, "Crystal ball." Not that you need that. And he like puts it to the side. Unless you do, and he looks at you like,
I don't.
"Are
None of
you
us are
wealthier than you look?"
divination.
Like,
Yeah, no, we're about as experienced as we look. We probably can't use that one.
I didn't think so. No offense. And he puts
None
it down
taken.
and says, "And besides, if you did try to steal it, it wouldn't work." And he like puts it back in the bag, like kind of tossing it almost like. And Wesley, you get this pang of anxiety of like, "Oh my God, what is it doing?" As he like kind of tosses it into the bag, and you see like the bag, it just like disappears into the bag, and it doesn't hit the bottom.
Oh, that was a
I
cool
like
trick.
to carry a lot of like knickknacks and junk and sort of things. How much for that bag?
This
Pretty
bag?
nice.
This is my bag.
Well, I know all of the things that you have are yours, but you're trying to sell things, so I want to buy the bag.
I put the things in the bag.
Well, that's what I
Do you
want
have
to
an
do with
ex-
it. That's why I want to buy it.
Do you have an extra bag?
No, this is the only one I have.
I don't think you can get that bag, Wesley.
But I have coin. I mean,
Maybe.
that was the only crystal ball he has, and he's trying to sell that.
How much?
Yeah,
coin?
but
I've got a pretty good amount of gold.
And it's shinier than our pennies, so you know it's worth more.
He looks at you and says, "This is my favorite bag. This makes my job very easy. I can go around carrying all the things I need to carry without having to carry them. You've
Yeah,
got to offer me a
You
lot
could
of gold
just, like,
to replace
give Silver that's bigger than you and have him carry the stuff, or
Mm,
buy a horse, or a horse in a cart.
Those things are very big and they smell."
he has a fair point.
Okay, I mean, I've got some nice smelling soap. I could buy it and give you some good soap.
Buy it for how much?
I don't know. I mean, like 1,000. And I kind of gauge his face.
He like squints at you.
1,300. Look at his face again.
He raises his eyebrows and goes,
1,300.
you see him like he licks his top lip and he's like looking at you, like examining you, trying to peer inside your soul, so to speak. He says,
Wesley is super uncomfortable.
"Okay." And he pulls out the things from the bag and he keeps pulling them out. You see he puts down on the table the crystal ball, the many potions I've mentioned, and two other things that I haven't mentioned. So one set of cast off armor in leather. It's relatively common leather armor that allows you to just take it off as an action. And he pulls out an instrument of some kind. It looks to be some sort of wind instrument, a set of pipes.
I'm going
with
to
a
whisper a
little-
thrust.
with-
Can you play those?
I mean, it depends on the pipes, but no.
No.
If it's a bagpipes, then yes.
It's like pipes, like reed pipes, like glued together or whatever. It's they're-
One,
he looks at he
two,
overhears what you're saying and he says,
3,
"What?
4,
What are you doing?"
5. I'm counting out the gold for you.
Oh, well, keep
6,
counting. These
7,
are this is the
8,
pipes of the sewers,
9.
and they're called pipes of the
10.
sewers because they summon rats.
Okay, never mind. Thrust wouldn't like that.
2.
Ooh,
Yeah,
rats,
no,
really?
I don't like that. Nope.
It's just the kind of item I want to put my mouth on.
Ugh.
And he like blows into it playfully, but not actually like cast. And
Yeah,
he
not
puts
my
it down.
cup of tea, and I'm broke, so no.
And he says, and he pulls out like some more mundane stuff, and says, "Okay." And once he will literally sit there and wait for you to count out every bit of the gold.
I do. Well, I count out the first 10, and then I just start doing stacks of 10 that are the same height.
Okay. And so he waits for you, looking at you with his squinty
so I do
eyes.
100. I do 130 stacks of 10 gold coins.
Okay. So his entire table is filled up with gold coins, and he says, "This looks about right." And he hands you the bag. And then he like starts gathering up the gold.
Can you
So-
open up a handout sheet for me so I can actually start like
Yes.
just keep all my stuff in there?
So that was
That
the
way
full
I
list
know
of
what I
the-
have on my person.
The only thing I would say is that make sure you keep track of the weight. You can probably use your character sheet. Let me look at your character sheet. I think you can add an amount of weight to your
Yeah,
character
you
sheet.
can add weight to it, but like I'll just ballpark it. Like I'll weigh out the heavy stuff and like the big bags of stuff like coal. I'll be going through.
So, Jim, was that
Everything
the full list of his
else will be
stock?
like 4 jugs.
Excuse me. Sure. I will. I'll make you a handout. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. That's add handout.
Start putting in like 4 jugs, half a bag of coal, a bunch of candles, 50 feet of hemp rope. I just start like dumping stuff in.
I'm gonna make it so that you can all edit it. So please be nice. It should be in there now. It'll be similar to your group loot.
Sweet.
Nice.
Okay, I will like fill that out Monday.
Okay. Alex, you were asking me a question.
If that was the extent of his inventory.
Yeah. So other than some mundane things, that's what he's got.
How much would it be for that water breathing potion? Was it?
Good question.
I think it's actually I don't know what water breathing is. I feel like it's probably a first or second level spell.
Yeah. I hate PDF searching. It's so hard. Like this is not a difficult thing. Potion of water breathing. 400 gold.
That is a lot pricier than I assumed.
Do
Apparently.
you need more gold? I can give you your gold back. I can give you.
I don't need more gold. It's just that that's pricey enough that I am
Not interested.
no longer considering.
Yeah, that's fine. Some things in this game, you're just like, yeah, it's not worth it.
Jay regrets this decision
And
later when
how
I'm
much?
drowning.
It's how much again?
400.
400.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna give you 20 platinum, Alex, to pay you back for some of what you've given me.
It's fine, Thrust. I'm still good. You need to have some money. Like Alex's coin purse is still pretty full.
Okay. Well, I still owe you. I'll get it back to you when I have it.
That's fine. I think I'm gonna maybe go check that weapon shop next. My sword's not really that good.
Okay.
I kind of hit things a lot of times, but it's pretty dull, so it doesn't really cut things.
Well, I'll
I
come
kind of
with
just
you.
tap it against thrust, and this is the dullest blade. This is like a decorative sword after you bought it, and it's just kind of sat there for 2
Just
years.
blunt. Well,
Okay.
I'll come with you just in case you need some extra gold, because I have some.
Oh. All right.
So you go over towards the tradespeople from the market, and you see there are two weapon shops apparent. One of them is a two-story timber and brick building with a smooth stone floor. Small dragon skull hangs over the hearth that you can see in through the window. And the other one is a two-story stone-walled building with a reinforced wooden door. It's brightly lit by magical candles and chandeliers. And it has a colorful canopy of fabric outside, like shading the door.
I kind of both of them seem like they'd be pretty interesting. Kind of want to go check out the magic-looking one first, because magic's nice.
Okay, so that's the second one.
Yep.
Okay, Lyra, did you want to say something?
Was gonna say I would have went to due to the fact that I need arrows desperately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wesley went to.
Okay, yep. All right, so you walk in, and you see a sign as you walk in that says Ziri and Anon's Arsenal. And as you walk in, you get this ominous feeling. There are great weapons. You see different things like arrows and bows on the walls, like on shelves. So you can pick out whatever you'd need there for the cost that it's supposed to be. I think it's like a gold for, what is it, a gold per arrow?
For 20.
A gold for 20 arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do that kind of mundane stuff. You can just pick it up and bring it to the counter. You're greeted by a heavy-set woman who is of dwarven ancestry. She says, "Hello, my name is Ziri, and I sell the finest weapons in the city."
Good evening, Ziri. I'm Alex. That's Thrust, Lyra, Gilbert, and that guy's Wesley.
Hi.
Nice to meet you all. And she like looks down at you and goes and like kind of gives you a look of like children.
He's actually really good at fighting. He stabbed a lot of stuff. Like last time we were out, he killed a, what was it, Thrust?
It was a chimera.
Oh,
Yeah,
chimera.
It was interesting. It had 3 heads and everything.
3 heads. Do you have any of them?
No, but I had this tooth, and I like pull out the tooth, which I put on this leather thong for like a necklace. I see, it's cool.
Ah, very nice. Okay, all right. And she changes her demeanor just a little bit.
So, what do you have any particularly interesting weapons you're proud of? I kind of use this longsword, and Gilbert uses a lance.
Yeah, I didn't bring it with me. It's somewhere else right now. It's kind of big to carry around.
Oh,
Well-
and he uses a rapier. If you have any particularly nice rapiers.
No, don't say that. I don't have any gold. please don't have a nice rapier.
She looks at you and goes, "You're in luck. I have no such thing. I've got some special things in this shop. Not quite any of those. The people around here do not usually use such exquisite weapons such as yourselves. The most exotic weapon I have is probably my trident." And she like shows you this trident on the wall, crafted very finely, engraved with the holy symbol of a god of war, and like it's very, very, very nice. She says the rarest weapon I have is this short sword, and she like takes like a box out from under the counter and places it on top, and there's like a glass piece on the top, and the sword underneath is like lying on like a bed of fabric, and she says, "This is true striker. Though it's never been used before, I've crafted it myself here So you could change the name if you so wanted. Everyone knows you can change a name once the sword has drawn blood. This one hasn't yet. And she like slides the glass to the side and takes it out and she, like hands it to one of you and says, "This is the nicest weapon I probably have ever made."
I'll see how it feels. What's it do if I can ask? I mean, it looks really nice, but I can't really guess by how things look.
So it is a +2 short sword,
Ooh, nice.
specifically. Which, let me tell you how much that costs before you get excited.
Probably
I
a
am not.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to
yeah,
be
probably a lot.
2,500 gold. 2,500 gold. And she tells you that the sword is so finely crafted with just the right blend of metals, such that whenever it strikes another metal or hard surface, a burst of light is exuded from the spot that it strikes.
That-
It's a ferro rod.
It is truly a interesting piece of.
And what about the trident?
The trident is a +1, and she takes it, puts the sword back in its casing, closes it up, puts it under the counter, like a little bit sad that you weren't particularly interested.
I have 1,200. Okay, Jim.
I know. I'm just telling you what they've got because I use a piece of software to tell me what would be reasonable for these people to have based off of where they're located.
That was
And
a really nice sword.
yeah. Anyway, so she takes the trident down and it's nice. It's very long and it's +1, which would roughly run you somewhere between 500 and 800 gold, depending. And she says it's finely crafted. She purchased it from someone else on the mainland and brought it over when she came over.
Okay. And it's can I look at it and see if I could recognize what the said war god was?
You
Or is it
always
just
do
a
this to
general
me.
war thing?
It's
You should know.
I should know.
You know he's gonna ask these questions, Jim. Come on, you know
You
he's gonna,
do.
you know he's gonna ask.
I know. Hold on. I got the list pulled up. It would be.
You know me better than this, Jim. I ask questions, they ask for pets.
That's fucking true.
Yeah, this is the
You
only-
know what I'm about to ask for?
More
Lead.
pets?
Lead is
Need me some
probably,
lead.
probably not going to be your favorite, but it'll be okay. Let's say it's Moradin. He's not exactly a god of war, but I don't see any dwarven war. Or it could be like Dal Dorn, the god of strength at arms. It's chaotic good alignment.
I'd be okay with that.
Okay, the symbol that's on there is a longsword crossed over a shield.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so you see it's a very nice weapon, and she says, and this net accompanies it. It's a +1 net as well, and you can
Nice.
tell it has like the same symbols on the ball. Net.
How much would it be for? How much would that cost?
For both of them, or for just one? They're two separate weapons.
For one and both, I'm curious at the total.
She says, "This trident has come a long way. I would need about 800 gold for it. But if you bought it with the net, I could give you a discount, and I'd give you both of them for 1,000."
Sure. I'll take both, and I'll pull out 1,000 gold, which is just all my gold.
Okay. She.
So I basically just take out my platinum and give her my coin pouch.
Okay.
I don't want to get your hopes up there, Miss. The metallurgy in that sword was very impressive. You must deal in all kinds of metals to be able to experiment that much.
I do deal in all kinds of metals.
Well, I'm kind of an amateur metal. I don't know, an experimenter myself. Would you have some brass rods for brazing and maybe a bunch of lead?
Uh, brass is a little harder to come by. How much do you need?
Oh, just some rods to kind of make some separate metal pieces solid.
I see. She says she has uh, enough for what you'd want, but it'll cost a little more than you'd like due to the lack of metal on the island at the moment. She tells you specifically, she says, ever since those pirates raided Dunsol, I haven't seen a drop of metal up here.
We have a lot of iron.
You do?
We have a rune, chainmail, a half plate, a great sword, a long sword, 2 cheap metal idols, and 2 morning stars. I mean, do you need them, Wesley, or should we sell them? Or
She
you-
looks at them
Let's,
very interested.
I still have a little bit of that iron stuff, so let's keep that that great sword, I guess.
Okay, would you be interested in the chainmail, the half plate, the long sword, the morning stars, and the metal idols? I mean,
Yes,
the chainmail
these
is
would
ruined,
be interesting
but,
to me.
and the half plate is in good condition, but you could melt them down for metal.
I would, given the times that we're in. I can work out a trade. I can give you the leather, or excuse me, the lead
Throw it-
and the brass.
Throw in my old longsword as well. Don't need it.
Okay. And I could give you. So she could probably give you a little bit. Your longsword is probably worth decent.
Also, what was the name of that card again?
Daldorn.
Okay.
Mm. 1 second. Longsword is usually worth 15 gold. So I would say she could give you the lead and the brass for a even trade with all that stuff. And she could give you a decent amount of each, like however much you need.
I couldn't hear you. My internet cut out.
How much lead do you need?
I would like to buy as much as she has because we have the bag of holding now,
Okay, she
and
can.
lead is
She can give you enough lead to do 100 bullets as an even trade for
Okay.
everything you've just mentioned, as well as the brass.
Okay, yeah, some brass rods for brazing, but that's mostly for the next project, just to make like tubes.
And we still have the
Um,
great sword as well, if you need iron from that.
Yeah, and half of the iron staff. You wouldn't happen to have any more lead? Just it's so hard to find these days.
Any I have left, I'm gonna need. I'm sorry. I'm gonna need it to
that-
melt down all these other things and combine it.
I mean, we could trade
That's
next
fair
door.
enough.
Trade you what?
We could try
That's fair enough.
We could try the other weapon place. They might have more.
The one across the street. She says they have some weapons, but none quite as intricate as mine. They do good work.
They
just
deal
not-
in more mundane items, maybe a spare anvil.
They might have something like that. They do a lot more contracting for the guards than I do. I specialize in more of your kind of weapons, adventurers, people who appreciate something with particular master craftsmanship. They are more likely to deal out swords that are made by stamping a sword into, a sheet of metal. Like their swords are nothing compared to the kinds of things that you can find here. But if you need 100 of them, they're going to do a lot better job of that than I would.
So they might have lots of lead. If they're
Maybe.
making multiple items.
If nothing else, they might have some nails.
Does anyone else need anything in this place?
No, I'm good.
Yes. Uh,
Oh,
I bought 100 arrows, mostly to
Mhm.
put in my pack, and I was wondering if you had any particularly fine daggers.
Ah, yes.
You could always go for
Unfortunately,
scimitars too. You could probably use those.
I could, I guess, change weapons. It would be more helpful than my daggers.
unfortunately, young lass, I have only short swords, the trident and net that I've just sold to him, a hammer, which I'm particularly proud of, and a hand axe, as well as some particular ammunition for a blowgun, which is a weird weapon I acquired across the sea.
Is there anything particularly special about the hammer?
It is a +1 light hammer.
That
What
short
about your
sword would be
short
nice.
swords? Nah, not. I can't afford the one fancy short sword. I've got a lot of money, but not quite that much.
She says, I do have this other one. It's not as nice. I purchased it from a trader across the sea back a long time ago in Ix. He seemed happy to be rid of it. He gave me a very good price on it, but I could give you in turn a very good price on it if you wanted. I'm
Is
told that anybody slain with it, the wounds it causes are sort of, they erupt in flames.
so anybody who gets cut by it erupts in flames?
Supposedly, I've never tried it myself. I don't have things I'd like to be burned.
Wesley, you're immune to fire, aren't you?
That
I'm
sounds
pretty,
like fun, Lear. I get it. It sounds like fun.
I'm pretty tough, and you could try it on me. I probably won't really mind it.
I don't particularly want to try setting anybody on fire.
I'll do it.
No.
Okay, so you are not interested in it.
I might be interested, but I'm not going to set anybody on fire on accident.
Okay,
Or
well,
on purpose.
I could give you quite a good price on it, considering the price that I got on it. I'd be able to give it to you for only 500 gold.
That
That's
sounds
Pretty good price.
fair. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so it's a +1, and it has a unique property of dealing fire damage.
So instead of
That's
slashing, it
cool.
does fire damage.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
That is pretty cool.
How are we doing for money, guys? Are we almost shopped out, or is everything else?
I have some silver left, but I don't think it's enough to get anything.
I don't really need anything else, but I have 21 platinum pieces left. I'm out of gold though.
I mean, I have some gold still and stuff, but I don't need anything else. Wesley, do you need some more crafting materials? Do you need more gold for that?
I've got 150 gold left, but I still need just some random things. I could use some tar, some nails. I guess I could take an anvil now. That'd be kind of nice, but that might be kind of expensive. And I need a big bag of saltpeter, a bag of charcoal, some sulfur, that kind of thing.
Okay, so you head over to the other shop to look for those things then. And they tell you, what do you look like?
Smith.
A female woman named a female woman, a woman named human, excuse me, named Sewi, says, "What do you take me for? You think I'm just gonna go selling around things so that everybody else can make weapons in town? Do you think I'm stupid?"
Don't answer
I
that.
think you're kind of rude. Question.
Well, you can take your rude threats and be off.
I never threatened you. Wesley knows this is going nowhere, though he leaves.
Okay.
I guess like if there's like a general trader, maybe.
Well, you remember there was supposedly a trader in the market that was going to help you with sulfur.
But oh, I thought he was out of town.
I told you
I
his
thought
name.
he traveled. Yeah, well, I wrote it down.
What was his name?
But I thought he was out of town and just traveling, traveling in.
Bless you.
Bless you.
The person was Arton.
Oh, Arton, you say? Your
Yeah.
name's Arton. He's the one who sold you
What
the
I wrote
bag,
down
dude.
at least. Oh shit! I better go. I didn't make a very good impression. Go back to him. Oh well. I go back to the halfling because I totally whiffed that.
I was kind of curious because I thought that was the halfling we were looking for, but I didn't say anything because I thought maybe change your mind.
Okay, so you go over to him, and he's like packing.
I would like a refund for that bag. I'm just kidding.
He like went to say something to you, but then like doesn't. When you say just kidding.
That was a joke. Okay. Okay.
You're not very good at those.
No, I'm not. But I thought I'd give it a shot. Someone told me, the potions lady told me you might be able to help me find some sulfur and some saltpeter.
Who told you this?
Oh,
Mina.
very nice lady. She showed Mina. She sold us some potions.
She means well, but I'm not supposed to be moving all this.
Oh. Well, it
These
turns
goods,
out I have a
so-
very good place to hide it. So if you're trying to keep it out of the eye, maybe you could sell some to me and I could get it off your hands.
Sounds like a good idea. If Mina is going and blabbing to everyone in town that I'm selling it. Anyway,
How much do
Yeah,
you need,
I'd
and
like,
what do you need?
Maybe three fist-sized portions of sulfur and maybe a backpack full of saltpeter.
He pulls out exactly those amounts from his cart, like underneath, like one of the wheel wells. He like reaches up and like slides like a hatch and like pulls it out, and like pulls out like bags of this stuff to like, equate to what you're looking for. Puts it like in a place that it's like not easily seen by everybody else around. Sort of.
Tell
like,
you what, do you have a barrel?
I don't. I keep them in these bags so that I can store them inside the car.
Okay, well, just slide them over here.
Oh, you better pay me first.
Oh, how much would you like?
How much will this get you in bullets?
I do not know, but it would make, if it's like a backpack, like a hefty backpack, it would make more than that of like just the saltpeter amount. My formula is 75% saltpeter, so it would make more than that bag of gunpowder.
Let's just say he has enough to make like 300 shots.
Okay, so
So
while
that
we're
would be-
spitballing this, let's put an amount on how much a horn.
Yeah, how many are in a horn? 20? Makes sense. So 20 is supposed to be like a gold, right?
I believe it was 1 gold for just the lead for 20 bullets.
Okay. So then maybe it was like 2 gold for 20 then. So that means that this
I'd
would
say
be
a horn would hold like enough for 40.
okay, 40. I don't really care how much is in a horn. I care about the shots. So 300 divided by what was I just saying? 300 shots. Fuck, I lost track of my math.
You said 2
I
gold
hate
per
doing this
20.
math. Thank you.
So it'd be 30
Two.
gold, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so then yeah, he's got about 30 gold. Well, it would be 1 gold per 20 for the shot and 1 gold per 20 for the lead. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Fuck if I know. I'm just making shit up here.
That
So
sounds fair.
then this is like I don't know, fucking 300 shots worth is 300 divided by 20. 15 gold.
Okay. And that's all he had on him?
Yeah.
So
that's
we'll
all he's
just
got.
stock up. Okay, yeah. Give him the 15 gold.
Okay.
And I slide it into my bag, and I'll make it later.
Okay.
So I'm good for bullets for a little while.
I
I
say
could
so.
make
That's a
another
lot.
100 with this. Well, I've got the powder for 300. I've got the shots for 100.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then do you have any nails or maybe an anvil?
He looks at you and goes, "Where do you think I'm gonna keep an anvil?"
Well, I would have thought in your bag before, but it would be really inconvenient if you still had it.
Well, that would mean you would have had it, wouldn't it? He
Well, I mean,
reaches under
I
the counter and
guess.
pulls out like a box of nails, though, and like puts it on the table. Just a few silver.
Okay. I need numbers here. Like,
2.
well, no, I mean like nails.
Oh, how many do you want?
Like
You
50.
kill me. You fucking kill me. 50 nails. Fucking a gold.
Okay.
Sure. It's fuck.
All right. I think I'm good for the day.
Okay. Shitballs.
Oh, unless you have some tar.
He looks at you and goes, "No, go away."
Okay.
You're welcome to like take your own time and wander the streets and try to find the rest of the shit you need, and we'll just figure it out later.
That's fine.
Thrust, well, after we finish shopping, Thrust would like to find the 3 most heavily trafficked areas in the city. Like the...
Town hall, the market, and probably the barracks, just because all the soldiers. Maybe the tavern.
Using my loot of scribing, I am going to write a message on the wall of each of these places where lots of people walk past. And it's
On
going...
town hall?
Yeah, well, like, across
On
from
the
the town
barrack?
hall. It doesn't have to be on the... Like, wherever lots of people walk past.
Okay,
If I think I'm
okay,
gonna get in
sure.
trouble, I won't do it, but...
You definitely think you might get in trouble if you do this in front of friends.
Yeah, I'll just do it, like, the building across from the town hall.
Okay, you do it like on the side, like you try to be sneaky about it. Give me a stealth roll.
Okay. And I do it, like, in a place that a lot of people can see. Stealth, you said?
All right, yeah, you're totally good. You managed to do it and get out of there before anybody notices.
Cool.
That it was you who did it.
It lasts for... How long does it last for? But basically, it lasts for 24 hours. And each of the messages say, Thrush the Sharp and Nomilis Menda have destroyed the goblin threat. And that is posted in the 3 most busily trafficked areas in the town.
Okay. All right. Let's break. This is all fantastic RP, even though
Alex now
yeah.
looks like a
This is-
proper
this-
adventurer.
This has been the
And not
best
about-
RP session in a very long time where we just did nothing but RP.
Can we get inspiration for our RP?
yes.
Yeah.
Yay!
All
Do
right.
we get to level 6 because of our RP?
We still
You've
need
got a lot of
500
new
experience, so no.